Are you ready for your next pinball machine? Call Flippin' Out now and choose from the newest and hottest pinball machines from Jersey Jack Pinball, Stern Pinball, Chicago Gaming Company, and American Pinball. Flippin' Out also offers the Escalera stair climbing hand truck. Visit now at flippinoutpinball.com. The wait is over. A revolution in LED lighting for your pinball is finally here. Fully customizable, full spectrum lighting from Pin Stadium Lights. Order yours now at pinstadium.com. Check out Pin Graphics for the latest and greatest in pinball enhancements. Power blades, blade skins, pin blades, and even more. Visit pingraphics.com now to see what's available for your pinball machine. Marko Specialties, same-day shipping, accessible website, exceptional customer service, and with over 50,000 different pinball parts in stock, Marko Specialties is a must for every pinball enthusiast and operator. Treat your pinball machine right by visiting markospec.com now.
All right, let's kick this shit.
All right, guys, it's time. Guess where we're at? We're with the man behind the legend of a machine that is Pirates of the Caribbean by Jersey Jack Pinball. This is, watch this, I can say your last name, unlike some of these people out there. It's Eric Minier at Jersey Jack Pinball. Now, Eric, you are the lead design. This is your first machine, man, of being the lead, the head honcho, the big overseer of operations on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, it is.
You guys have, you probably own and have played a hell of a lot of games of machines that you've worked on. Wizard of Oz, The Hobbit, Dialed In.
Yes, sir.
Twippy Award-winning.
Award
Multiple
winning,
Twippy Award-winning.
Yes.
Dialed In. They were out in the lobby. They look really good. We'll get a shot of those. So thanks, man. We appreciate you letting us come up here and diving in deep to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Excited to do it.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So what we're going to do, we really want to know from you as the lead person on this, instead of just like the rules, we'll get some of that from Kiefer, and we're wanting to know the paths, your inspiration behind the design of this, how you went about thinking, okay, I've got Pirates of the Caribbean, what the hell do I do with this? I want to know about that ship. I want to know about this Maelstrom ramp. So that's kind of what we're going to do if you're up for it, man.
Yeah, I am up for that.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So let's start out, before we go left to right and all the mechs and stuff, just a quick overview of the idea behind Pirates of the Caribbean, and when the casual player maybe steps up to this big, beautiful machine, what are they trying to do to it?
They're trying to progress through the 5 different movies in the franchise.
Gotcha.
Lots of clips that are there to remind you which characters are in the different chapters you're playing through.
Yeah.
The big wizard modes, the multi-balls are all about showing you how the movies progressed and what went through it. So you're trying to play chapters, trying to play multi-balls, trying to get to those wizard modes and finally break the curse.
Oh, man. Which is going to, come on, it's going to be damn near impossible to break the curse on this thing. This thing is hugely, it's so deep.
True. I've gotten to Valinor.
Have you really?
Yes, I have. Gotten to Alien Invasion.
Did you get the T-shirt? You need to get, I always tell people, you get to Valinor, you got to get the T-shirt.
I got to get the T-shirt. Definitely.
Man.
Definitely.
So you're not just a lead designer, you're not just an engineer, you're not just an art director, you're a good pinball player too.
I'm a good pinball player.
You like playing in tournaments and stuff?
I do. I wish I had more time to play in tournaments. I love playing in my pinball league. It's a lot of fun.
And I can tell you from knowing Eric, this isn't a guy that shuts off pinball whenever he leaves this place. How many you have a collection of pinball machines?
I have a collection.
How many would you have?
Too many because 3 of my personal games are in the lobby right here.
I saw them too. Yeah.
I've got 7 more games at home.
Oh man, yeah.
And then 4 more games coming soon.
Ooh,
So
very nice, very nice.
lots.
So let's dive into this. So you're trying to get through those films. Some of our favorite films include The Black Pearl. We've got Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, etc., etc. Let's talk about all these delicious toys, mechanisms, layout, shot, and first off that thing. But let's go from, in typical Sdtm fashion, let's go from left to right. The first thing I noticed, let's keep it down here by the slingshots.
Mm-hmm.
This we haven't seen in pinball in a while. That pass through. What's that called? Is it like is it just an inlane?
Outer return lane, I think is what
Outer
it's called.
return lane.
Right, so
Okay.
that's what I'm going to call it.
And that works. So you're the one that created this damn thing. That's all
It
you.
works pretty well, yeah.
So what made you think, you know what, we got to do something different here, guys? Was it a necessity kind of thing, or is it just something cool?
I'm a fan of being rewarded for being a good pinball player.
Oh, okay.
Now, out here, usually if you drain down an out lane, you're done, right? You're not going to save it. With a drain on the in lane here, if you're a good nudger,
Yeah.
you can save that. You can bounce it
Oh,
off
can you? Yeah.
through the gate there and keep the ball into play.
Woo.
You got to work for it, but you can.
And
you can
it's
save
not
your ball.
consistent, probably,
Right.
but
no.
but every once in a while the lottery ticket
Yep.
you'll
And,
get something.
I mean, you
from
can
it.
if it shoots down here super high speed, it can sometimes save itself.
All right, so you
a
like
wonderful
giving the
thing.
player more opportunity.
Yes.
Instead of what I've noticed about your what your machine here, and even some of your past work, instead of just being there it is, it's an out drain. It's options. You've got options here. You've got options up here. You've
Yes.
got. There's always different types of
Yes.
ways to play the game and different outcomes too that I really respect about your design.
One of the fun things on a bunch of our games are outlane saves and drain saves and things like that. Before they've been mostly software based, I really like the physical.
Yeah.
It's up to the player's skill as being a pinball player to get that ball back into play.
Yeah, that's the superior engineer in him. Find a physical way
Yes.
to do it. Very cool. So as we're moving up here, I see molded pieces on a pinball machine, which I respect, and everybody here respects and loves as well. Tell us about this area, this Devil's Triangle area.
So there's actually a shot before we get to the Devil's Triangle, starting on the left.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm
Depths.
missing it.
The depths is the first shot on the left
Okay.
over there. That is a makeable shot from the right flipper. It is tight, but it is makeable. Everyone in this office had made it. When I
Perfect.
laid it out, put it down there, I said, everyone get in here. I
That's
want to
right.
see you make it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, now granted, we've got some world-class players here.
Very true.
But even my brother made it, so it can't be that bad.
Oh, right now he's rolling his
Oh
eyes.
yeah,
Damn.
definitely. So the depths is a far shot over there. That's where the subway kicks out.
Okay.
So there is a 5-entrance subway, and it all kicks out over there. And one of the reasons I like it all kicking out over there is it feeds the pirate lanes.
Feeds perfect.
So you know if it ever goes into a subway, you set up your pirate lanes on your flippers, get an empty light over there to roll over and fill it up.
And there's so many ways this could be clunky, but it's so buttery smooth. When this thing shoots down here, it's at your flipper, and you're like, oh crap,
Yep.
there it is.
Yep, absolutely.
I do love that. What else is responsible for the scooper? I see a special as well.
Special is on the scoop over there.
Okay.
When you're playing the different chapters, the chapter scoring will be locked in. It'll randomly select one of the movies to lock in your chapter scoring for the next ball if you get a ball directly into the depths.
Okay.
Okay, so if you make that shot or if you ricochet that shot,
That's tough,
that
though.
score will be held over for the next ball.
Perfect. Very perfect. And then we're moving over here.
We're moving over.
Oh, now we got my Devil's Triangle.
Not quite yet.
No,
I
what
want
are
to
we at
point
here?
out a stand-up target. Small and simple stand-up targets. But one of the things that I dislike
Okay.
in a lot of pinball is I make a shot, I slightly miss a shot, but I hit a post. No
Thud.
sound,
Oh, yeah.
no animation, no nothing exciting. It's just doink,
Yep.
comes back at you. You do not hit any posts from the flippers on this game.
Oh, you know what? You're right. There's so many shots in this game.
Shots
But you
and
don't.
targets.
You don't. Yeah, you're building towards something.
Right. You're always hitting something. The ball's always doing something, always going somewhere. You're never going to get a doink.
This is a doink-free zone.
Yes,
Thank you.
doink free. So now we are into the Devil's Triangle. The Devil's Triangle, I think Bermuda Triangle may have been copywritten, and that's why Disney didn't use it. It's called the Devil's Triangle. So
Sounds more sinister.
Yes, it does. So we've got the sculpted piece here by Matt from Back Alley. Did a great job
Isn't
on
he
that.
the best?
Oh, he's fantastic. Shoot it into the Devil's Triangle. Will it come out again? You don't know.
Oh,
You don't
really?
know.
I like it.
So if you shoot it into here, that's how you qualify Movie 5 chapters. It's also how you qualify the Movie 5 multi-ball.
I see.
You shoot it into the spinner enough times, and it won't come back out of here. Normally, it's a loop shot that will come back out. But if you qualify it enough, it won't come back out. There's a diverter back there that feeds the ball down into the subway, and then it kicks out here when you're ready to start your multi-ball. So
Yeah.
another thing about this game that I focused on is that every major shot can be diverted and stopped.
Yeah, I remember you
So-
telling me at Expo that, and that's one of the things I was like, my eyes real
Right,
big.
right.
I love
So-
not knowing, not always knowing where the ball's going to go.
Now, once you know the rules, you know
Of
where
course.
the ball's going, right? But Keith and I have talked many times about this.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting a shot that only goes one place, in both of our opinions, gets boring.
It does.
You just keep making the same ramp shot. It's always coming right back at you, always coming right back at you.
Get stale.
Right. Divert. I've got diverters everywhere all over this game that can change the ball path. And that allows us to play videos. It allows us to,
Ooh, yeah.
stop the ball and hold it somewhere, or it allows the ball to flow.
Yeah,
The shots flow or they stop. That's
I
what I
like
like.
that. I like that. So that's that shot.
Yep, so that is the
Now,
Devil's Triangle.
as we're looking at the stand-up targets, though, I'm seeing some multipliers here.
Yes.
Tell me about those.
So multipliers that go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
We try to
alright.
spread them out for the difficulty, right? 2 and 3 are pretty easy. You hit them forehand or backhand.
Yep.
4 and 5, a little bit harder to hit those backhand. And 6 is difficult. It's off the end of the flipper.
That's true. But I still like that it's over there because you have your 6 times and your scoop over here. And that's a good spot to put.
You can pick them off, and there's a bunch of different times they get used in the game.
Yeah.
Not only for a Playfield multiplier that you have qualified, but one of the other Pirate Lane awards is a shot multiplier, adding to your bonus multiplier. They get used for how many jackpots are available in
cool.
multi-ball number 2 and Dead Man's Chess multi-ball. So they're used all the time.
Very cool. Very cool. The Maelstrom.
The
Am I saying that right?
Maelstrom. I think
Maelstrom.
that's how they say it in the movie.
Yes, the Maelstrom.
The Maelstrom. So the ball,
It's not just a ramp.
it's not just a ramp. Goes up, comes around. It's got a diverter up here.
I love
Diverts down into the subway. And again, comes out through the depths. So that diverter functions in At World's End multi-ball.
it. Okay.
When At World's End multi-ball is lit, you shoot it up into here, diverts down into the subway. This is the jackpot shot. Super jackpot shot is our next shot.
Oh. I love it, man. This thing, I got to tell you. Did you think of this? Have you wanted this for a while?
I've wanted this for a while. So
Jeez.
I love the under the flipper shots.
Absolutely. They're so
I've got Stern
satisfying.
Star Trek at home.
Yep.
And Wizard of Oz.
That's
I
right.
I just love the ability. I'm creating a shot
That's right.
as a player. I'm holding up
You're
my
choosing
flipper.
that.
I'm making that shot happen, and I put it down under there.
And it serves as a nice, silicone and rubber
Yep.
bank, too.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
man. When Greg and I were at Expo and when you guys revealed this, we went up to play it for the first time. That right there is what got us. We're like, okay, we're sold. This is unbelievable.
So that's it. That's a hard shot to shoot.
It should
It's a
be.
super jackpot shot, right? Tia Dalma in the movie, she gets all big and starts like throwing stuff, turns into a giant pile of crabs. And a little
I
weird.
do
on
remember
it,
that, too.
But that's the super jackpot shot, right? Into the Maelstrom and then Tia Dalma and
Boom.
back and forth and getting your jackpots that way
Wow.
for movie 3 multiplier.
That
Movie
is
3
really
multi-ball.
cool. That is really cool. Yeah, that is one of my favorite shots among many of this game. A+ on that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, sir. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to Port Royal.
Port Royal is the next shot. Left orbit. It's used primarily for movie 1.
Okay, so you just
Yep.
gotcha.
So there's a unique shot for every movie in the game, and they're color coordinated to correspond to the colors in the game. And Port Royal is movie 1. So you start movie 1 chapters there. You qualify movie 1 chapters there. You start movie 1 multi-ball there. There's a couple of characters from movie 1 in there as well.
Yeah.
A nice shot that feeds to the pop bumpers,
Mm-hmm.
or it can be diverted.
Oh, and you won't know
Ball
it.
can be
Or
stopped.
you'll know it, but you won't
Right.
see it.
So the ball will be stopped
Uh-huh.
by a magnet in the
Via
back.
a magnet.
That then drops the ball into a subway.
Mm-hmm.
The subway then rolls uphill.
Uphill.
Come back here, yes sir, and kicks out above the.
Is that a
under the
secret
black
how you
curve.
get balls real uphill?
I mean,
Trade secret.
trade secret?
I like
Not really. You
Okay.
do a little geometry, you can figure it out.
That's still pretty cool.
It's a cool shot.
That's
It's a
still
cool,
pretty cool.
cool little way it works.
And then it feeds out.
And then, well, that subway. So there's
Oh.
actually 2 subways in there.
Oh, okay.
One of them's a 5 entrance. One of them's a 1 entrance.
Okay.
That one
5
feeds
wasn't
out.
enough, so we
right,
need.
that one feeds out right
I
back
remember
here
that,
onto the
yeah.
upper playfield here. So kicks out up here. You get to play around up here for a little while.
I do remember now. Now, as we pause there, as we talk about skill shot, do I remember? Isn't there a skill shot that you can get it to come?
There are.
Yeah.
There are 3 skill shots.
Okay.
Actually, skill shot into the pop bumpers,
Okay.
and that will raise your mystery level by 1 level.
Yeah, yeah.
Skill shot into the ship, which
Okay.
you drop it down into that little subway we just
Mhm.
talked about. Kick it up to there. It advances your progress on Curse of the Black Pearl multi-ball
Yeah,
by
that's
1
fun.
level, or the multipliable skill shot.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot it around
Yeah.
off the flipper here.
Ooh, combo
The
time.
skill shot is actually the captain's quarters
Oh,
right
yeah.
here. But
Another one of my favorite shots.
every loop you make
Uh-huh.
adds a 1x multiplier to your skill shot. So normally it's
Woo!
2,500 points.
Uh-huh.
Bam, 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 bam,
And
bam,
then
bam, bam. And then
end it.
into there.
Oh, what if
Oh,
you
yeah.
miss it, though? Do you have any, is there any leeway?
No.
Oh,
No, it's brutal.
dang, I love that.
You build it up, and then
Yeah.
miss. Oh, man. You can
Ugh.
kick yourself. I think I've gotten a 12.5K
Really?
skill shot because I looped it 5 times.
Ugh.
And it was,
That's
it was
cool.
a wonderful thing.
That is very cool. Okay, so the 3 skill shot. Which one is the easiest of the skill shots, in your opinion?
Definitely the pop bumpers.
The pop bumpers.
Right, because it's a point of no return on the wire form is about here. So if you pull it up too little, it's just going to roll back at you.
Mm-hmm. And you get
Roll back
another
at you, roll back
chance
at
if
you.
you want it. Yeah.
And just a little bit off the end into the pops.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So as we're going from Port Royal, we've got this big, beautifully molded chest
Yes,
here.
the chest molded by Mr. Dave Link, sculptor extraordinaire.
Ooh, I like it. Thank you, Dave.
So this chest is the chest of Davy Jones.
Okay.
The chest of Davy Jones into this shot, again, is diverted. So the ball will normally go through,
Ooh.
come back, and feed your flipper here,
Yeah.
right? But when the chest is active after you've hit open chest, the chest opens up, and you see the forks come up out of the bottom of the playfield.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
those forks will lock in place. They're not going to lock right now. 'Cause
Yeah, of course.
They lock in place, and you shoot the ball, and the ball catches the forks, flips up
Flips her right up in there.
into the chest, lands
A
right there.
And it's a physical
It's
ball
a
lock.
physical ball lock.
Yay.
3-ball physical ball lock. Chest
That's
closes,
perfection.
and then you get your other ball served 3 times to start Dead Man's Chest multi-ball.
So when the Dead Man's Chest multi-ball starts, how do the balls exit the chest?
So there is a little arm here.
Uh-huh.
Kicks open,
Yeah.
drops the balls.
And they come out.
Yep, drops out.
Not only they come out, they're ready for that.
They're ready for the flipper.
Ah, yeah.
I love feeding that flipper, and I wanted
Yeah.
to do it in many ways.
You can keep this ball going with that
Yes,
flipper.
yes,
This
very
is
much
not
so.
like a useless flipper. This thing you're
No.
going to be using just as much
That is
probably as these.
absolutely. That is a very useful. Lots of stuff over here. 2 primary shots, 3 targets that
Mm-hmm.
you hit from that flipper, plus our gold targets over here. So 7
Got to
targets.
get that gold for
primarily
Tortuga.
from there. Yep.
Got to get it. And we're going to talk about that orbit here because that's a special little orbit to me.
Mhm.
But as we're moving from so we get the stand-up targets beside one says open, one
Right.
says chest.
Right. Actually, we blew past our pirate stand up here.
Oh.
So after you've completed your pirate lanes,
Uh-huh.
whichever award you've selected from your action button and your screen down here,
Yep.
whichever award you selected after you've completed pirate lanes is lit up here.
Okay.
You
So
hit it
just
there,
collect
hit it there to cash it in.
Perfect.
Yep.
That makes me feel better because once I miss this orbit, at least I'm collecting if it's already
Yep.
qualified.
Yep.
Very
So
cool.
your open, your chest stand-up targets play into Dead Man's Chest multi-ball.
Mhm.
Then we have the star map. Star map is where you start all of the different chapters.
Mhm.
It is where you collect the character Jack, and where there's a fun little area back here that's a little bit obscured by our ship,
Okay.
By our prototype ship. It's cleaned up for our production ships.
Yeah, of
Narrowed
course.
down some of the.
Yeah, you
some
guys,
of the
this is a
art here.
prototype, so.
Inside this area, there are 5 stand-up targets.
Yeah.
And 2 10-point switches on rudders. Buried underneath that area is a magnet.
Oh,
And
thank
in
you
front of
again
that
for the
area
magnets.
is a
Yeah,
up
post.
post, a
Yeah.
little disappearing post. And actually, there's another disappearing post over here.
I did see that one
This
sneaking
dearest
around.
disappearing post over here works a couple different ways. It can stage the ball, so you can hold a ball behind it to feed this flipper. But in chapters where it's required for you to hit, say, Beckett or Swan or Angelica
Yep.
or Blackbeard, if you shoot the left orbit, that post pops up, ball hits it,
Oh,
rolls back, feeds your flipper.
perfect.
Another way to feed that flipper.
So the post is actually being used instead of just holding the ball.
Yes.
It's using
it is actively stopping the ball.
deflecting, if
Yes,
you will.
and coming back to feed your flipper here.
It's saying if that post is going up, it's telling you
You got something
there's
to
a
shoot
shot.
over here.
There's a shot there.
Yep.
Don't miss it.
Absolutely.
I do like that.
Um,
And there's some magic. I always feel like when I've been playing this game, that chapter start area. There's some magic that
yeah.
goes on in
So
there.
the magnet in there, so this post pops up, holds the ball in there. The ball's going crazy. Magnet's flipping it around. You
Yeah.
got cannonballs firing at
It's
you.
really cool.
It's randomly selecting whichever chapter you have, whichever movie you have selected.
Oh,
So if you've got multiple movies up there, it's going boom, boom, boom. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Which chapter are you going to start? Then it selects. Then you start playing that movie.
okay. And like modes in typical games, we're calling them chapters
Yes.
here. So whenever your chapter is eligible, it's primed, it's ready to start.
You shoot
That's
into,
where you hit it.
Shoot into the star map.
Okay.
Yep.
I love that.
Little
And as
bit-
we're moving, we got our map.
We got our
Stay
map
right now.
targets. So MAP spells map.
Yes.
That's for my toddler at home.
Oh, and Greg.
So
Greg needs.
the map targets, there's 1 letter for each ring
Okay.
of our map.
Yep.
MAP starts these spinning.
That's pretty smart, actually.
Variable,
I like that.
variable
I do like
speed,
that.
variable directions. Each ring is independently controlled, and so that gets those spinning.
Yeah.
When you have all 3,
This ain't your dad's whirlwind
that
spinner.
is not a whirlwind spinner. It's a little deeper than that one.
We're gonna see it here in a minute.
When you've played all 3
Mm-hmm.
or hit all 3 stand-up targets, map ready will turn on, and you'll shoot into the captain's quarters,
Okay.
which is a subway shot.
Such a cool shot. I've never seen that shape of
Itty bitty
shot.
shot.
Yeah, it's not. I've not seen that shape of scoop before.
Itty bitty shot.
It's like.
But oh man, it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It feels so good right off the
Once
end of the
you hit
flipper. Yep, it's right there.
I
I
do
find
love that.
you're hitting it just as often as you're hitting the loop shot.
Mm-hmm.
It works well. Shoot it into there to stop your map, and
Okay.
randomly select one of the many, many awards that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
available, like Award 4X Playfield.
That would have been perfect. I would like that
Or
one. Give me a award.
maybe we
then.
can change your opponent's character.
Well, that's not very nice.
That
no.
could be fun.
That's all right. I do like
So, lots of different awards available on that.
that. Okay, so
All
that's
started
where
from the map area
that's where
up
your
there.
map is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next shot is the inner loop,
Oh,
Fountain of Youth.
the pinball player's favorite shot. in
Fountain of Youth.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
And this loop is themed the Fountain of Youth because it allows you to live forever.
Forever and
Keep
ever
making and
ever.
making that shot and making that shot and making that shot, and you can live forever.
Oh, and you can keep scoring a lot of points
Scored
too.
A lot of points. So you're starting movie 4 on Stranger Tides multi-ball
Mm-hmm.
by shooting that shot. I think it's 5 non-consecutive loop shots.
Oh, okay.
So getting it up there 5 different times.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start on Stranger Tides multi-ball. A couple of the characters from movie 4 are on that shot as well. And let's see, what's next? I think our gold targets are next.
Now, before we move on, for the true pinball players out there, everybody keeps telling me, man, Zach, that shot is like butter. It is smooth. It's so fun to repeat. Everybody likes repeatable loop shots. Can you talk a little bit, Eric, about the importance of you really dialing that in from an engineering standpoint?
Absolutely. So there have been upper loop shots done in the past.
Yeah,
Shadow.
They're done, yeah. Star Trek, Star Trek's
Yep.
got that ramp loop
Yep.
shot.
They're hard to get right.
They
I
are. There's a
now
lot
know-
of games that don't do it right.
I now know from experience.
Okay.
I spent over a week with nothing more than this flipper,
Mm-hmm.
this flat rail, and this flat rail,
Yeah.
getting this tuned in.
Okay.
Just those three elements. I was adjusting the positioning of this. I was adjusting the positioning of those, of that, the strength of this, the pitch of that, where they line up, now the important part was where this flat rail fed the ball onto this flat rail in order to make
I
a
could see that.
continuous loop. You don't want a lot of chatter back there because that
do.
kills the energy of the
Yeah,
ball.
it does.
So that is what the most important part of it, and we got it to work really
And you
well.
know you attain that very well when the first time players, good pinball players are playing this, and it gets past them. And they're like, whoa, I didn't think it was going to do that quickly. Very cool. Okay, I just had to point that out because I just love that. So the gold stand-up targets here.
A gold stand-up targets. So gold is a rule in the game where you need to collect gold in order to get to Tortuga. You got to buy your way into Tortuga to have your fancy pirate party.
Makes sense.
So Tortuga multi-ball is lit by collecting 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
Ball hits the gold stand-up targets, you get a couple of gold coins thrown up onto the screen. If you instead combo your way, get 2, 3, 4 loops.
There go them loops.
An orbit into a loop, or a chest shot into loop, loop, hit the gold targets, lots and lots of gold coins, or gold nuggets, which are worth 5, or gold bars, which are worth 10,
Ooh, I like that.
gold figurines of 25,
We're getting fancier
or
now.
chests of gold for 50. So you can
What's it take to get a chest of gold, though?
It takes probably 7 or 8 consecutive loops.
Oh, gosh. Now, if you're putting that status on, that means that it's an attainable shot, and it feels really good once you get it, but you're going to have to earn it a little bit. I like that.
And then you splashed your gold. You need to hit the button one time for every piece of treasure that's up on the screen there to collect it.
Very nice.
The
And then it will make a sound.
Yes.
An auditory.
Yes.
You'll have a
so
sound
you'll
in
hear
there.
gold coins like thrown onto a table.
Okay.
And-
What about one gold coin?
And one gold coin is ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Okay.
Now these lights here and here will be cycling yellow when there's gold available.
Oh, so there's a visual.
There's a visual as well.
Visual as well.
They'll start to turn red when the gold's about to disappear. If you don't grab your gold quick enough,
Ooh,
it
that's tricky.
disappears. Yep.
It's not like we ain't no bank here.
Right. Not just sitting there forever.
We're
You're a pirate.
pirates.
You got to grab that.
It's coming.
Grab
It's
that.
going.
Get going.
More theme integration. Okay.
So when these are flashing yellow, it means you got gold. You need to grab it.
I do like that. So we're moving from gold. We've got another ramp.
Yep. The right ramp, the Black Pearl entrance. So this ramp feeds our upper playfield.
He calls it an upper playfield. I call it a workable ship. It's swaying back and forth.
It does sway back and forth. So this playfield is on a bearing surface that allows it to rock back and forth. One of the things that I was adamant about in the design was that this playfield needs to come off in a trivial manner.
I remember this, yeah.
I grew up as an operator. I grew up working on games. I was out in a bar at a Friday night at 10 o'clock when I'm 13 years old, fixing games in the dark. You can't see what you're doing, trying to, is it an 11/32 screw? Is it a 5/16?
Yeah.
You got to take this ramp off. You got to take that ramp off. This upper playfield.
Yeah, let's show everybody what this upper playfield looks like.
This upper playfield is here.
Look at that.
So all nice and bundled. There's a bearing surface that comes from the back panel
Okay.
and from underneath the playfield.
Come on in here, Greg.
Underneath the
take a look at
playfield, hooks in there and there.
Uh-huh.
And in this bearing surface, back there is a single screw that screws down against the back side of this.
Yeah.
That makes it so it can't move.
Okay.
Can't move back and forth, but it allows it to freely slide up and down. You pull this screw out, pull the cotter pin, the hairpin that's attached to the motor, slide back, pop out.
Just that.
Obviously,
it's
you
doable.
have to undo your electronics.
But I can figure that out, Eric, and I can't figure much out in pinball.
So this is a 5 minutes to uninstall the upper playfield.
Oh, the routers of the world and the homeowners will thank you.
So you can easily get to your flippers when you need to rebuild them because you've been playing the hell out of this.
Pinball's pinball, yeah.
Yep. Underneath here, since we're talking about the upper playfield, you can see our cannon.
Yeah.
The Black Pearl's cannon is aimed at the Dauntless, the British ship. So when this upper playfield is rocking,
Yep. Don't come a knocking, that's right.
that's how you are aiming at the shots over here. So the ball will shoot through the air at the Dauntless and either strike it on the side to do 1 point of damage, or right through the sweet spot here into the side of the ship for 3 points of damage. In order to start your multi-ball, number 1, you think you need to do 2 points of damage the first time around.
So if you hit it in that ship,
you
you're
hit it in
starting
that ship, you're starting.
that first time
Yep.
around. I like it.
Yep. So in order to qualify that, there's a couple things to do up here on the upper playfield. You need to deploy your sails.
They do look like sails too. I like that.
You need to load your cannon.
And they're still
either
spinning. That's
either
cool.
one of these targets will load your cannon.
All right.
At which point this little cannon door opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot the ball in there, and then the ship is rocking,
Ooh.
rocking. That's how you aim. Slam down
Action
your action
button.
button.
There it goes.
Fire. And then if you sunk the ship, movie 1 is lit on the left orbit.
Okay.
Shoot it, magnet grabs it, back here, drops it up to there, and your super jackpot shot while you're in multi-ball.
Ooh.
Super jackpot up here, get it back into the cannon, and sink another ship. Sink another shot.
And then it'll
While
go.
multi-ball's going.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right. So
of
you got
course.
balls down here. You
But
got
that's
balls
whatever.
there.
That's what we're chasing. We're chasing super jackpots.
Yes, we are. Yep.
I like that.
Also,
And-
on the upper play field are bonus X. Complete
Uh-huh.
these 2 stand-up targets to complete bonus X, and spotting gold over
okay.
here. Now this over here
Oh yeah.
is on purpose.
Yeah, it
Man
is.
overboard. So the play field's rocking. If you're not careful, it's bouncing, it's coming out of here, and you got to get your ball back up there again.
That's
when
right.
you go.
You're gonna fall off the boat,
Yep. Yep.
which pirates do all the time.
Yes, they do. It is an adjustable difficulty if you want to make it
Okay.
really, really hard. Pull this post out all
Oh,
the way.
now that's nasty.
Or there's
that's
3.
brutal.
I'm sure at Papa they will have this
They'll have
post
it out. It'll be gone.
Oh, yeah,
It'll be
absolutely.
Gone. One of the things I can appreciate is before we keep going over to the right, look at this boat. Check this out, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It could be static. There's no need for it to be, but it's 10 times better. It moves,
It does move. And actually, there's 2 switches in that thing.
and it looks.
One to detect when it gets hit from the side, and one to detect when it goes all the way through.
Oh, very cool. Because when you're playing this game, the feedback you get when you feel it hit that ship is unbelievable. I just love it. It looks like you don't even want to touch it, but you're hitting balls in here.
Yep,
And,
yep.
I love that. Okay, sorry, I'm geeking out here. All right, so the feed. So the feed, you're coming up, and if you fall out flipper-wise, you're going safely back to your right
Safely-
flipper.
Yeah, there's a one-way gate here,
Okay.
so the ball will fall back down to your right flipper.
Very cool.
The other way up onto this ship, like we talked about before, is there's a subway in the back.
Yep.
Magnet will grab the ball, drop it into there, kick it
Now,
up to here.
can you access that in the back without it being a skill shot? Is there anything in the game that stops it back there
Yes.
and pulls it up?
So there's
Okay.
still code being developed that
Of
will
course, yeah.
do other edit in other components. It definitely stops it there when you've started multi-ball 1.
Okay.
Grabs it there and kicks it up here.
Very cool. All right, so we're moving on down. We got some black dice, some liar's dice here. Now that
liar's
is a
dice.
through the pops.
Through
Where's
the
that
pop
feed?
shot. Yep, through the pop shots into the right orbit.
Woo!
Right orbit, one of the 9 main shots on the playfield.
Yeah.
Has 3 characters. That feeds all the way through. Nice clean shot in the pop bumpers
Yeah.
to come around and be stopped by one of several diverters back there to play liar's dice, which Keith will talk about a little later.
Okay, very good. I always love through the pops. There's an amount of difficulty, but again, that satisfaction whenever you can get it,
There is.
especially when an orbit, and then bam, 1-2 combo, inner orbit.
So let's talk about our pop bumper area.
Okay.
This is Tortuga. This
This is Tortuga.
This is where the pirates come to play. So in Tortuga, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, there's a sling back there.
Slingshot buried underneath the ramp here.
Uh-huh.
So there's lots of action going on in here. And when you're hitting pop bumpers, pirates are spinning, your treasure table is spinning. Mystery is awarded through the pop bumpers.
Okay.
So you hit pop bumpers to raise the level. There's a corresponding insert for each one of the pop bumpers or slingshot. And they all raise up. The mystery award is granted to you by whichever your lowest level is.
Okay.
And our little buried rollover button.
Yeah, that's the Waz rollover.
So what I really like about a pop bumper area
Uh-huh.
is having multiple feeds in and multiple feeds out.
Get that action.
Right? So I don't just want it to drain out one way. You know it's going. You know where it's going. It's going to be a safe exit every time.
Or you got to worry about the same damn exit is going right.
Yes, or you got to give a
straight
good
down the middle.
nudge right as you're. Yes. So
You feel trapped as a player whenever you know if it goes in the pops, I don't like it. Like,
Right.
here it comes.
yep.
But this, what I also like, I'll note, is you've got multiple pop bumpers that normally you don't have 4 in a game.
Right.
But this feels like less than 3 because they're spaced so properly and there's a lot of action in this Tortuga
They feel
area.
good. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 paths in and out of the pop bumpers, and it goes in all those and it comes out all those.
Yeah.
It is. It keeps you on your toes when you're in that.
Oh,
area.
absolutely. I like how that you put the extra ball where you did.
Extra ball
That's
is
unique.
a fun shot. So
It's like it has a bank element to it.
So remember how difficult the depth shot was.
Yes.
This is its mirror on
Oh,
this
so
side.
it is the
It
same
is a very difficult shot.
geometry there. As it should be, it's an extra ball.
Right, the extra ball. You got to earn this. You need to hit this switch
Ooh.
without hitting anything in your way to it. If you hit a pop bumper, it
That's
disables
sneaky.
your extra ball.
So again, you're going through the pops in 2 different ways.
2 different shots through the pops.
I like that. Oh, that's going to make me angry.
You feel
at
like
some
a
point.
$1,000,000
I
when
bet.
you make that shot. When I was at Expo, I think it was Josh Sharp. Maybe it was Zach. I was hanging out with both of them as they were playing. And I'm like, all right. He lit up extra ball through the pirate lanes. I'm like, all right, man. Let's see it.
That's right.
You got to make this shot. And he stands. He's like, oink.
Oh,
Picked it off perfectly first time. I'm like,
You're like, come
man,
on.
come on. I put my heart and soul in. He just
Yeah.
picked it off.
He just measured it. He
Oh,
took
yeah.
a little,
Took
just
a
a
bit-
little time.
That's why he's one of the best
Bam.
players in the world.
Damn sharps.
Let's
That's
see,
really
what else do
cool.
we have here?
What about the scoop? So we get the
Scoop?
mystery scoop, and that's
Mystery.
probably how you start Tortuga multi-ball?
Yes, that is how you
Oh
start
my gosh, I'm
Tortuga
picking it
multi-ball.
up, Eric. I'm picking it up.
And the Gibbs character is on this shot as well.
That's our boy Gibbs.
Yep.
He's talking to us throughout the
Kevin
whole game.
McNally did all the narration for the game,
Yeah.
which was an awesome experience.
How phenomenal
You
was
know,
that?
it's,
Yeah.
it's here I am, engineer. Never thought I'd be doing something like that.
That's right.
Writing a script for this, blockbuster character.
Franchise, man.
Right. For him to read it, and then me to be like, Mr. McNally, sir, could you please emphasize yarg a little heavier, please? He's like, oh, yeah, mate, no problem. Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh my god.
Completely awesome
You were
experience.
directing it.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
Ah, you can put that in your portfolio. That
Yeah,
feels
I will.
good. That feels really good.
Back
How
down-
was he though? Was he in? I
He
mean,
was so cool about it. He was so
he's told me
excited.
off camera too. He's a real cool guy.
So excited
Yeah.
about pinball machine. I can't wait. I can't wait to play. I can't wait to see it. This is so cool. So
Did that take a lot of time working with him?
It was
a lot of call outs. That
yeah.
kind of stuff?
We recorded. I don't even know. We were there for 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't take a break. And
He
it
just
was
kept on.
Just kept going. He was
Wow.
repeating everything so that we had multiple instances. It wasn't just jackpot, 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 jackpot,
You got
jackpot,
different- yeah.
jackpot, yar.
Yeah.
And he did impromptu and just gave us some of his own
Extra kind of-
feel of it. I was very.
I bet you were cheesy.
Oh,
I
dude,
bet you
it
was
was
like,
so
oh my
cool.
god.
I was getting my coworker. I'm like,
I bet.
come in here, because we were
That's what
doing
he's
it over
doing.
Skype. He was in London,
Okay.
because he was in a show at the Shakespeare Globe at the time.
Oh, nice.
And he's just like, yeah, I stopped in here,
Prestigious.
right,
That's
in
nice.
this recording studio on my day off. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, very cool. So we had people in here that were listening to it, and they were all
Very
smiles
cool.
and stuff too.
Very cool.
Um,
So the Inlanes.
Inlanes.
You were trying at Expo to teach me about the Inlanes, but I don't catch on very quick with these things. I saw pretty colors, a beautiful layout, and a pretty screen, and I just wanted to play it. Poor Eric was like, "All right, Zach, you got to pay attention to the Inlanes, the pirate Inlanes." So help me now. Tell us about the pirate Inlanes.
So there are 6 lanes
Okay.
that you can go through to collect your pirate awards.
All right.
You can choose which pirate award you want to play by hitting the action button. When there isn't gold on the screen. If there's gold on the
You're
screen,
gonna collect it.
You're going to collect it by hitting the action
Yeah.
button. Once the gold's all gone, you hit the action button and it changes what color the lanes currently are.
Okay.
There's a corresponding color for each award. Playfield X, Shot X,
Mm-hmm.
Arg Frenzy, Bonus Multiplier. They all have their own colors.
So you're moving it by the flippers. You're changing
the
it
color.
by the action
Yep,
button.
and once you complete it, shoot up here
Yep.
to cash in your award.
I think I'm getting this. This isn't that bad. This is good. It's that deep, but it's welcoming. It's very nice.
And then last but not least, I think, the last shot, I would call it, way over here in the right outlane.
Yeah, you can save yourself.
You can save yourself as it drains. You give the game a nice nudge. Sometimes it's generous and gives it to you on its own. There's rubber here underneath the apron. You can nudge the ball back into the shooter lane here.
Now, is this a prototype thing with no rubber, or what are we doing here?
There's a couple different ways, so I was playing around with it.
Okay.
With rubber here, it's a lot harder.
Oh, guarantee it.
It's a lot harder.
Can it be done though?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Still-
Absolutely. With
still-
rubber here, it's a lot easier. You get
yeah,
more
you
action,
give that
more
bounce.
bounce. So I'm gonna throw some rubbers into the game
Yeah.
when they ship, and it's up to the owner how they want to
Owner,
play. You can
operator
slip them
can-
on
yeah.
there, and play the way you want.
Again, what I can very much respect, and the pinball community thanks you, Eric, because you don't have to do this. You can just make this a regular out lane. Your ball is gone. You want to give, again, more fun, more skill
Yes.
to the player. And something like that is so satisfying. Just that bounce
Very
back
much
in,
so.
you save your ball, save your life.
And I've gotten plenty of times where I had a crazy shot that 1,000 miles an
Yeah,
hour,
yeah.
straight down the middle,
Mhm.
hit the trough here and rolled.
Oh, I know
rolled,
what you're saying. Yeah.
And rolled. And
Bounces
landed
right back in.
I mean, there's a reason. So I think this is in the prototype word, but I believe in the production it'll say escape the locker.
Oh,
escape Davy
perfect.
Jones' locker.
Mhm.
So when you get it into there, you come back to life.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Can we show the people
Yes, we
what
can.
this looks like?
So this mechanism is a spinning disc mechanism.
It's pretty.
But it took it one step further. I was in my office watching these movies for about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
getting inspired on what I wanted to do. And I think spinning discs are fun,
Mhm.
but I wanted to change it up a bit. I wanted to have more than one spinning disc. And there's this artifact in the movies, this map that can take you anywhere off
I
the
remember,
map, right? This
yeah.
magical, mystical map called the Maelstrom map. And it had lots of different rotating plates that you line up different words, and it tells you how to get to Davy Jones' locker,
Yeah.
or how to find the Fountain of Youth. And so I took that, and I brought it to Dan Moulter, my mechanical engineer, and said, I don't know how we can do this, but I think you can do it.
We need to do
We need to do this. So, this mech looks like it's complicated, but
Oh, I'm sure it is. Maybe not to you, but
it's actually a really graceful design.
okay. It
That's
looks
what I
so
can say.
smooth when it's running.
So there are 3 motors,
Mhm.
one for each disc, and we're able to use a relay board to
Okay.
turn the motors in opposite directions, so we can.
I
spin
like
the
that.
disc
It's not just a one
either
way.
direction. No.
One way stop. It's
Right.
one way stop, back the other way, one way fast, slow.
And then we've got optoelectronics in here that can tell us where the discs actually are, so we can line up our different awards.
Yeah.
So we can add, my favorite award is to plunder your opponent's ball.
Oh, that's mean. God, it's nasty. That's like the killer in pinball. If you want to just
Oh yeah, if you want to
punch somebody in the stomach,
yep, that's
you
where
plunder
it's
their
at.
ball.
You plunder their ball.
And they're like, what the hell? That was my ball. Ball 3. Like, what
Yep.
am I doing?
So again, growing up as an operator, I wanted to focus on serviceability and
Yeah,
how to
'cause-
make sure this mech doesn't break down.
Yeah.
If you do need to change something out, because we all know that it's pinball, right?
Yeah, things are
Pinball,
going to get wore out.
Things are always going to get worn out,
Yeah, that's what
break
happens.
down.
It's a ball
This mech,
bearing.
we've been testing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been running for hundreds of thousands of cycles in our shop. It's held into the playfield with wing nuts.
Okay.
So with these wing nuts, you can adjust the level. You can level it
Good.
out.
That's really
4
good.
different wing nuts, so you can adjust to make sure it's flush with the wood here.
You don't want it bouncing or anything.
Right. And then if you need to take it out for whatever reason, you can undo the wing nuts, pops right
So
out.
it's pretty simple.
No
Even,
tools required.
Even I can do it.
Yes.
I like wing
Even
nuts. Even I can do it. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a beauty. I like that, again, and it seems like the Jersey Jack way, but instead of having something as cool as a spinning disc in the middle of the playfield, you said, nope, not enough, let's
Took it
make
up a
3.
notch.
Nope,
Took it up
not
a
enough, let's make it variable. Nope, not enough, let's make it stop, and then there's rewards. It's like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's terrific. So what we're going to do now, can you tell us a little bit about the screen apron? Because I don't see this very often.
Yes.
Has this ever been done in pinball? I don't know if
I
I've ever...
don't think so.
There's some mods out there, but this is
Yes,
a
there's
factory.
some mods that duplicated, I think, our Wizard of Oz screen and put it on the apron
That's right.
down there.
Yeah.
So this screen tells us a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
It does not just the Pirate Awards, but its main focus is, during gameplay, it shows Jack Sparrow's magical compass.
Yeah, which we like in the film. I mean, that's a cool part of the film.
And in the film, Jack's compass always points to his heart's desire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this will point to the player's heart's desire.
Mhm.
It'll always be pointing at the most valuable shot currently available in the game.
Yeah.
Now, the code that we're going through to make that happen is pretty deep.
I would guarantee
But
that.
it will statistically pick out for the games what it thinks is most valuable. Movie 1 and Movie 3 are both lit at the same time for multi-ball.
Mm-hmm.
It will tell you which one statistically is worth more points. Or if there's an extra ball, that's weighted to be XYZ,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's lots and lots of rules, and something that is down here, a little bit out of the way, that maybe you have to pay attention to, maybe you don't necessarily have to pay attention to it.
Yeah,
But
it's whether or not you want to utilize
right,
that.
it's something we wanted to put in there because we understand our games are very deep. This is kind of like myself or Keith Johnson or Joe Katz standing behind your shoulder saying, hey, shoot the right ramp.
That's right. If it's not blinking enough, damn it, Zach,
Right.
just shoot the thing.
Shoot the right ramp.
I like that because casual players that like pinball, they can come up, and this might overwhelm some people at first because it's so beautiful and there's so much to do, and you can say, no worries, guys, just look at the arrow.
Just follow the compass.
The compass
is
will
pointing
point
where
you
want.
right in the right direction.
Absolutely.
If you're wanting to just shoot around and have fun, great. If you trap up a ball and you want to know where to shoot next, it'll tell you right where to go. I do like that. Now, what we're going to do, I think we're going to go into, without going into every player, we'll let Kiefer go into every little player.
Sure.
Can you tell us, if we start a game, can we see the different, what's on the screen? Oh yeah, perfect. So there's 22 characters, right?
Yes.
Boom, got that.
Each character has their own unique power,
Okay.
which we've balanced.
All right.
So we wanted tournament players, right? Really want to have depths of rules, different ways to play the game, different scoring opportunities. So characters all have different abilities.
Okay.
And if you're playing a multiplayer game, nobody can play as the same character.
That's right.
That
No
is-
longer does somebody get shoved into playing first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you might want to play first.
Absolutely.
Because
I want to
you
get
know-
that character over somebody else.
Right. You know you want to be Blackbeard and get your 10-second extra ball saver and multi-balls. And if someone else gets first, maybe you can't get that character.
Yeah. Now, one of the last things, we're going to touch on some gameplay stuff here in a minute, but tell us quickly about the art. Tell us
The
quickly
art.
about the art direction, because it draws me in. I think the color saturation here, you see greens, purples, blues. I love the feeling. It's almost like a painting, if you will.
Very much.
I love it.
So, our artist, new to pinball,
Oh,
been in gaming for many years.
yeah.
His name's Jay Zielinski.
Okay.
We were given a style guide from Disney, and they said, stick to the style guide.
Very
Absolutely
typical for
cannot,
Disney or
Cannot
bigger
vary
companies.
outside
Yep.
of this. To which we replied, take a step back, Disney.
Yeah.
We know pinball.
Yeah.
We'll protect your assets. We want to do what serves best for everybody. So we went
And they've got to
through-
approve them anyway, right at the end of
Yes.
the day. So
Yes.
let us at least show you what we got.
Let us show you what we got.
Okay.
So we went through, Jay went through, and hand painted every single one of these characters.
Oh, wow.
And painted their backgrounds and blended them together. And then we had to get sign off from every single actor
Oh,
that we featured in this game.
jeez. And there's a lot of them in here. There's 22 of them in
There's
here.
a lot of them in here, and he did such a great job that every actor said yes.
That's a great representation
Yep.
of each one of these people.
So we got to do hand-drawn
It's
art
beautiful.
with all of these actors, and
And Greg and I, when we're reviewing, we're going to show you guys the cabinet art as well. It's the cabinet art is gorgeous as well. So we'll show you guys that here in a bit. Okay. All right, Eric. So whenever I play the Hobbit or any Jersey Jack game, I love the big display, first off. But what I love about it is if you trap up and you look up here, you can really, it is a map. You can see everything that you're supposed to be doing. It's all displayed up here. I love that. Can you tell us a little bit about the display on this game and why there is a map?
so JP DeWin drew this map.
Yeah, he does good work.
He does very good
Yeah.
work. So up across the top here are your different movie chapters. So
Okay.
if you qualify a movie chapter,
Yeah.
you see the gun board open.
Yeah.
Chapters qualify, so that's movie 1.
Shoot
Shoot
start
the star map in order to start the new world.
Okay.
Other shots will qualify. Other movie shots will qualify
Chapter
other
qualify.
movies. Right. Now if I shoot into the chapter start, I'll have a 1.5 multiplier.
And you've got options in that star
And I've
map
got options in
too.
there. Yes, I do.
Oh, I like it.
So up across the top here are our movie chapters. In the corners are our treasures.
I see where they're supposed to be. There's
Yes,
like
it fills
you can
in.
collect things.
And so if you make combo shots, like left ramp to right ramp, for example, ta-da, you've gotten the
The
treasure of
treasure of
Cortez.
Cortez. Yeah, look at that.
And so there's many different unique two-shot combos in the game.
Uh-huh.
Go through and collect them all.
So these are your combo items.
Yes,
Ooh,
your combo items.
people are gonna love trying to
One
collect
for
those.
each unique combo shot in the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
The main map down here that you're looking at is your progress toward the different multi-balls.
Okay, now when I first look at it, I'm just seeing a map. What am I
You're
supposed to
seeing a
look
map.
at?
What you're looking at is your progress along the map. So, for example, movie number 1,
Okay.
Curse of the Black Pearl, is showing your progress. As I advance
There it goes.
down the map, you can see my progress here.
Yeah. There it goes.
Fuse, and now I need to sink the ship.
Uh-oh.
And the ship is sunk. So
We
now,
didn't even have to rehearse that, guys.
Movie
That was
one.
really...
movie
was
1
nice.
is lit.
There it goes, there it goes.
And now we see some more beautiful animations by JP.
Nice. The Curse of the Black Pearl. Multi-ball. Oh, cool. Hit the ship hole for super jackpot.
Exactly.
So it tells you exactly what you need to do, Ray.
It does. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And now every one of the movies has its own multi-ball that's qualified in new and unique ways.
Okay.
Okay, so movie 2 is all about you hit the chest.
So what area was this over here? Black Pearl?
That was the Black Pearl.
Black
That was
Pearl.
movie 1.
Okay.
This is movie number 2, Dead Man's Chest.
I see
You
it.
shoot it. You hit open chest, which it says
Mhm.
open chest. Then you shoot a ball into the chest, right up the center.
Yeah. Lock one.
Ball. You can see as it progresses.
Nice.
Now I release that because I'm already in another multi.
That's right. Yeah, because it's you're
Right.
supposed to be shooting.
So
But if not, it's going to physically ball lock that.
Yep. Yep.
Very cool.
movie 3.
You open the chest, lock ball 2, open the chest, and
Right.
then...
So you follow your map in order to get to the treasure at the end, which is
Okay.
a multi-ball. Movie 3 is all about collecting the 9 pieces of 8. There's a big red arrow on each of the 9 main shots.
Uh-huh.
In that little arrow, or in that big arrow, is one of the pieces of 8.
Oh, I
from the
see
movie.
him. Yeah, yeah.
If you remember
items.
from the movie, there's
I
a
do.
like a hat that they throw a whole bunch of junk in. 9
Yep.
pieces of whatever we happen to have in our pockets at
That's
the
right.
time is the quote. 1 shot for each of those pieces of 8. Collect all of them.
Uh-huh.
Shoot it up the ramp in order to start movie 4. Movie 5, you progress by shooting around our loop.
This
here.
is so helpful. This is key here.
Yep.
Okay. Look at that.
So again, this is non-consecutive shots. So I've got a combo going, it won't count as progress. I have to do
Okay.
5 different sets. And then finally you enter the Devil's Triangle. By hitting this spinner, you're progressing your
There you
ship
go.
into the Devil's Triangle. If you get a really good hit, like I just did, you see it progress 3 times.
Ooh.
Yep. So those spinners go like butter.
That's why I like that Hobbit too. It's the spinner means something.
Mhm.
You're progressing instead of just getting points.
Right. And now you can see your progress. You're ready to go. The item at the end of the map is lit up and animated. And
This is an
functioning.
animated map.
It's an
so
animated treasure
cool.
map.
Okay, so this is key for you guys that are listening. This is everything you need. Film 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you guys ever get confused, it's always, I tell people that with The Hobbit, it's always right here. Just take a breath, take a second, acquaint yourself with this, and you'll never forget it.
Right.
I
now,
love
if you
that.
see yourself getting a combo,
Mm-hmm.
and then hitting the treasure, gold pieces everywhere.
There they are.
Collect
Collect
them as
them.
quick
There
as
it
you
is.
can. You can
Perfect.
see your gold count down here.
Yeah.
The gold pile fills up higher and higher and higher.
Visually
once the gold-
again.
Once it fills up, once you get 50 gold, you're ready to start toward 2 the multi-ball. Your multipliers are shown in the bottom left-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
It always shows what is most important to you at the time. It'll default to
Okay.
your bonus X,
Mhm.
but if you've got a Playfield multiplier running, it'll show it on here, and you'll have a
Okay.
timer right next to it. If you have your shot X, it'll show that. If you have a shot X and a Playfield multiplier,
Mhm.
it'll show what the resultant value would be. So if you've got a 5X Playfield and a 3X shot multiplier, it'll show next shot 15X.
Perfect. So this is your go-to if you're
Go-to
quick and
for
you
your
need to see what
multipliers.
you're doing.
Yep.
And it shows where how many balls you have to go.
Yep.
And they're cannonballs, aren't they? Or what? Does
They
it?
are cannonballs.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're cannonballs. Now, last thing, what are these scores right up here below each of the?
Of the different movie shots.
Okay.
So those scores are what you will earn if you start that chapter, and that's what each chapter shot is worth.
Say that again. I
This
don't know
is
if I
what
get
you
it.
will earn. So when you start a chapter,
Yeah.
and we'll see because I've got multiple chapters lit.
Yeah. See if you get them all. Oh.
So it started movie number 2. Now, but because I am Cotton,
Yeah.
it automatically gave me one of the chapters.
Perfect.
And you saw I scored about 2,500 points
Okay.
for that. All right. So now if I shoot another character, I'll get 1250 times 2.5x. That
Mhm.
2.5x comes in because I had 4 different movies qualified.
Good.
If I shoot Gibbs, for example. I had Mystery Lit as well.
Oh, so then is your mystery. Oh, that looks good.
All right, so give me 1,000 points. As you can see, I got, and the shot is actually increasing in value with every character I collect.
Okay.
So once I finish this mode, and every character you hit collects some gold for you, so be on your toes. You're getting more gold coins by doing this.
Nice.
Let's see, a couple more characters here. It's lucrative to play well in chapters because your chapter shots keep getting more and more valuable. Now this is up to 2,800 times 2.5.
Oh, yeah.
So Marty there just gave me 7,000 points.
Yep.
And if I hit right ramp, chapter completed. 7,500 points, total of 47,200 points.
Nice.
And I've beaten that chapter.
That's cool.
Now if I start another movie 2 chapter,
then the skull.
the skull shows that it's qualified.
Yeah.
It's going to start off with the chapter value being worth 3,250.
I get it. Yeah.
I can lock that value in, maybe. It'll randomly select one value to lock in. We'll see which one it did. So it held, you can see, value held, 1150.
Whew.
And if I shoot it into Teodalma, everything went up by 250 points, and it awarded me the highest value I had, which was 3,250.
That's the benefit of having this is a 27-inch
Yes.
monitor is you can't fit this in a smaller.
Right.
You can't fit this much information. So for whatever people say about the preference of the size of screen, it is a necessity if you truly want to see without flipping through the
Yep.
menus.
You look up, see everything you want to see in your game all at once.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys, how bad do you want one? I want one real bad. Before we leave you, we've got to go talk to Kiefer now to talk about the rule set. We just not started, guys. But before we go to Kiefer, I want to thank you, man. I can't express how unbelievable. I mean, this is no bullshit. You killed it, dude. You killed it. This didn't have to be like this. You chose to put blood, sweat, and tears in this. The pinball community, you guys, I know, are very appreciative. This guy ain't going nowhere. This guy, this is where this starts, you guys, and this is how this looks. I want everybody to be able to go out and play Pirates of the Caribbean. Go to an arcade, buy one for yourself. Make sure to play the hell out of this game because you're never going to play the same game twice, are you, Eric?
No, it is impossible.
This is Eric Menier, and this is Zach with Straight Down the Middle. Thanks again, guys. Hey, what's happening, guys? This is Zach from Straight Down the Middle of Pinball Show. Guess where we're at? You guys know where we're at. We talked to Eric, but now we're going to talk to the man himself, KJ. Does people call you KJ? That's pretty horrible, isn't it?
Kiefer is what I usually
Kiefer! Everybody knows him by Kiefer in the tournament scene and different things like that. This is Keith Johnson. Yeah, rules and code God in my books. How's it going, man?
Good, how you doing?
Yeah, thanks for doing this video with us.
Thanks for coming by and
Yeah,
checking it
so
out.
this thing, if we really went through every mode or every chapter, every rule set, everything in this whole game, we'd be here for a while. You love to have deep rule sets, don't you? What is it about the structure of your rules that do you like to make them deep? Do you like to make them feel like a journey? What is a Kiefer rule set?
So it all really started back on Simpsons Pinball Party, I guess.
Everybody loves that.
And I just wanted to make a game that I wouldn't get tired of.
People are
Right,
still
'cause-
trying to defeat that game.
Well, right. I mean, so I started off, playing games in arcades and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Adam's Family, Twilight Zone.
Mhm.
At some point, you play the game like 4 times on the same game.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. It wasn't necessarily to make people, work more or whatever, but I wanted the way Simpsons was laid out was that on most games, a good player should be able to get to one of the final modes.
Okay.
On a really good game,
I was going to say, wait a minute. I'm not able to do that.
on a really good game,
Yeah.
they should be able to get to all of the final modes.
Okay.
And on the game of a lifetime, when everything comes together, they've won all the modes and they get to the thing at the end.
Wow.
That's how it was structured. And people are
Okay.
talking about playing hour and a half long games on Simpsons trying to get to the end. I did it on a New Year's Eve party at my house once, just playing, a friend. And I got to the final mode in under half an hour.
Wow.
Because I did everything
You
perfectly.
hit every shot perfect.
Just as I was, just as planned. It was like I finished Alien Invasion, finished Springfield Mystery Spot.
I have a hard enough time just getting to Alien Invasion. I love it every time I get to it, but then I'm like, I can't control all of this stuff. So that's cool. So you approach it in that manner. You approach it with, you don't want to get tired of one of your games. You're not easily
Right.
tired
I
of
mean,
it.
it's gonna sound kind of egoish, I guess, but
I know.
I make
about that. It's okay.
games that I want to play, and hopefully,
That's smart.
and usually it jives with what other people want to play.
Okay.
You're never gonna please everyone.
Nope.
Please yourself, I guess, is how I look at it.
That's right.
People get it, people don't. I mean, the only regret I have is that it often takes people a long time to warm up to my games or to
Okay.
fully get them or fully understand them.
I would argue
Like,
against
there's-
that, but you're hard on yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think that taking individually each thing is like really hard to
Yeah,
understand.
I get that. I like Keith Johnson games because when I come up to them, I can play them for months in my home collection, and then I play them again, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't, like, where'd that come from? I've never opened that up.
Right, that's
So
what we
it's
always try
cool.
to do. We try to say, wouldn't it be cool if the game did this?
Mm-hmm.
And we try to plan for that. It's like, you don't know about it because you don't even know the whole rule yet.
Yeah.
Right? But like in Simpsons, again, you shoot the little target up there and you get more time on your thing.
Yeah.
And then by accident, you're shooting the left ramp and you shoot the target directly, and instead it adds more time and scores more points.
That's true.
And then you shoot it off the left orbit and again miss the ramp and you hit the target and it adds like 10
Adds some
seconds.
more.
And you're like, wow, that was really great. I'm glad
it
they thought of
rolling.
it.
Keep it rolling.
We try to think of everything so that when you get to it,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, that felt good because the game recognized that I did something cool, and it's rewarded me
And you
for
get
it.
rewarded for it. And it's a spectacle. It's always a spectacle, too. It's not just, hey, you've defeated a good job. Like, you feel like when you're in a wizard mode on a Keith Johnson game, it's like, oh, here we go. Like, this is, at least that's how I feel. Whenever I get to some of the mini wizard modes in Hobbit or something, I'm like, oh, here we go. And I've got that, I feel like I'm in the film. So kudos to that. So I'm so excited about this, you guys. I'm stoked beyond my wildest dreams to be here to go over this with the man himself. But you guys know me. I'm not the greatest pinball player. And Keith Johnson games can scare me at first because there's so much to do. So for the sake of everybody watching this, you're going to have to help me out. We're going to have to slow it down for me. We want to know, first off, just what's the composition of this? What are we trying to do? Are there chapters? Are there films? What is the basic premise of this code set?
All right, so over the franchise, there are 5 films.
Correct, yes.
These, and so we have general inserts for the 5 films down here: Black Pearl, or Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, On Stranger Tides, and Dead and Tell No Tales.
Okay.
So each of those movies has one shot associated with it primarily.
Okay, so that's simple. I like that. So,
Right, so over here, the yellow shot is generally the Black Pearl, Curse of the Black Pearl shot.
okay,
The green chest shot is Dead Man's Chest.
okay,
The ramp over here with the whirlpool Maelstrom is At World's End. as
Okay.
That figures into the end of the third movie
oh, I
pretty
love those
prominently.
too. Sorry.
The fourth movie is the inner loop up here,
Okay,
labeled Fountain of Youth, which that movie is about. And then the fifth movie is a Devil's Triangle, which we have built up over here with the sculpture.
I love that.
And just kind of goes up into the nothingness. You can't really see what's going on. It's kind of mysterious.
Hence
like
the Devil's
Yeah.
Triangle. That's right. I like that. As we stop right there, 5 films, 5 main shots to progress.
Right.
And I know that's very simplified, but I can work with that. Okay.
So each movie has about 21 chapters associated with it.
That are possible.
Right.
Okay.
So, and they're all directly scenes from the movie. They'll have a little intro, from the movie as to what chapter it is, and then the primary characters that appear in that chapter are the shots that you have to shoot around the playfield.
Okay, and which are indicated by
By these normal arrows, like all the characters are the same
I see
arrow.
Beckett, Angelica. Okay.
Right. You have Jack up the middle here.
Okay.
Davy Jones, Bootstrap Bill, Will Turner, Pentel, Scrum Rigetti, Elizabeth, and Barbosa over here.
Perfect.
So there's 22 of those arrows scattered around the playfield.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, more or less associated with the movie that they're most associated with when we can.
That's smart. I like it.
So at the start of the game picks 5 chapters from each of those pools of about 21.
Oh, okay.
So there's 5 chapters for movie 1, 5 chapters for movie 2. So
And that's a randomized.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
out of the 21 for each, it picks you 5 for each.
yes, that's
And
right.
it's kind of in a bank here. And it's like, this is what we will present if they can get to these.
Yes, that's right.
Perfect. Okay.
So
That's where the big old number that Minier was talking about when it comes to
3.25 sextillion game
That's
combinations.
it.
Yes.
That is it. So that's where that comes from, in a lot
Right.
of ways. Okay.
Right. That 5 out of 21 times 5 out of 21. You know, so
Jeez Louise.
yeah, it adds up quick.
Okay. So how many chapters are there in summation? I guess a little over 100.
125.
125. The Hobbit wasn't enough for you with 30 something. It just you wanted again to expand.
Well, yeah, we did them a little different in this game. So,
Okay.
you know, since they're all driven by characters as a result of how we had to make the game,
Mhm.
we just decided to, you know, put the characters out there and hopefully it's easy to understand that, you know, you see those characters, you know what shots you have to make.
That's right.
You know, a mode is just making shots on the playfield.
That's
right?
all it is.
You know,
Every
it's-
mode's yeah.
sometimes they're done a little differently or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still shots on the playfield, but you know, we made up for it by there being a lot of them.
Okay. Now let's say I'm playing this and I want to start a mode on Black Pearl, or start a chapter because we've got possible 20 chapters, but it's going to give me 5. I want to start one of those chapters. Black Pearl. Does that mean I'm going right there?
Yes.
Hot damn! I got it.
You already understand the
Look
game.
at this. That's
So
not bad. That's good.
You shoot the shot associated with that movie, which in this case is the left orbit.
Yeah.
And so that skull, which is flashing, will turn solid.
Okay.
And it will light up here in the star map area.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see there's 5 different inserts up there.
I
right?
do. Yeah.
So if you were to shoot that shot and then shoot it into the chapter area, you would start a Curse of the Black Pearl chapter.
Okay, so if you want to start a chapter, that's your spot.
That's the spot, yeah. Chapter
Once you
start right
enable
there.
it, you're starting it there.
Exactly.
Perfect. I love that. Okay, so then I'm trying to get through. How do I get a multi-ball in Black Pearl?
So each of the multi-balls for the movies
Mm-hmm.
are a little bit more varied.
Okay.
So it's not just shooting the shot. Curse of the Black Pearl, for example, is done by going up to the Black Pearl and making shots at the ship over here.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And so when you do enough damage to the ship, that multi-ball would be lit, again, on the left orbit, which is the shot associated with Curse of the Black Pearl.
What happens if you do damage by actually hitting it into there? What kind of damage does that do to the?
So the cannon, which is up here,
Yeah.
can either hit the ship, right, like that, or it can go in the hole. So if you hit the ship, 1 damage unit is
Okay.
done, and if it goes into the hole, 3 damage units are done.
Oh, nice. That's a 3-to-1 kind of thing.
Right. So obviously the goal is to try and hit it in there. If the first multi-ball by default requires 2 damage units. So if you hit the ship, you're gonna have to take another shot at it. But if you get in the hole,
Damn,
you'll
that's
light
perfect.
it right
I like
away.
that, yeah.
And then it goes up by 1 each time after that. So the first 2 multi-balls, you could light it with just 1 shot by getting it directly in the
Yeah,
hole.
but if you
and
keep
a
on
multi-ball
going
3,
through-
then at that point you will have to make a minimum of 2 shots because the first one will do 3 out of 4 damage, and then you'd
you're
have
going to have to
hit
at
it
least
again.
hit it again.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that's the basic layout of what's the player trying to do?
So the ultimate goal of the game, I guess, is to more or less complete all of these inserts.
Wow, 5 wizard modes.
Right. There's a
Into
wizard
a
mode.
big wizard
right.
mode.
There's a wizard mode for each movie.
Phew.
To
Okay.
get that, you have to play the movie's 5 chapters, and you have to play its multi-ball.
Okay.
And then when you're
So
out of it,
after the sorry to interrupt you. After that 5th chapter, Does it enable multi-ball, or it opens it up?
No. So it's two different things, right? There's a multi-ball for each movie, which you just talked
that's
about,
right.
The Curse of the Black Pearl.
That's right.
So you have to, now, admittedly, it's not likely
Yeah.
that you're going to play through 5 chapters and
And
not have started the multi-ball.
Okay.
But the requirement is that you play the multi-ball and you play all 5
I like
chapters.
that because it's not tied. It's not directly tied to it. You can do your multi-ball and your chapters. It's another layer of the game, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So ultimately, to get to that ultimate wizard mode, you got to get through all 5 multi-balls and all 5 films.
Right. And
Correct.
then, so for example, for this one, once you do these and you're not in a multi-ball and you're not in a chapter, then again, the shot will light up
Okay.
and you can start Curse of the Black Pearl wizard mode.
Okay.
And that particular wizard mode, just as an example, is you have to collect all the 882 gold pieces that
Yeah.
you know they took from the chest. You're in the Black Pearl and you're going around to the different places and collecting them again.
Yeah.
And now the interesting thing about that is the score of the wizard mode is directly correlated to how well you do in these two things. Right?
Oh, perfect.
So the
Perfect.
the
Yeah, yeah.
approximate formula is the number of characters you've collected from all 5 of the chapters you've played for that movie times the number of super jackpots you've made in that multi-balls.
Yeah. So
For that movie.
if you take the time to hit the shots and not try to
Right. If you
Mess
just
around.
blow through the chapters and just
That's
start
right.
the multi-ball and don't make any
you're not going to see a
supers,
good score.
you're not going to score any points at all.
Okay.
probably.
That's probably what I'll do initially. I'm not going to lie.
Well, probably a lot of
I'm
people
not going to
will,
lie.
but
I just need to get through that. I
if
want
you
to
play
see
the chapters and you
someone
do
see
get
the
a
build.
multi-ball, get some supers up there. So yeah, the goal is to play the chapters well,
Yeah.
play the multi-ball well, score big in the wizard mode.
Oh.
So if you, after you've played, you don't have to win, you just have to play all 5 of those wizard modes, then you will get to the final mode.
Do we have a name for it yet?
We do.
We do, but it's
What
not
do we
coming
call
out
it?
yet.
It was Break the Curse. Yeah, Break the Curse.
Oh.
So the very end of the last movie is,
Yeah.
you know, they got to blow up the trident.
Oh,
So,
man.
that will be your goal in
Right
the final
there?
mode.
Right there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Uh-huh. Man. Okay. Tell me about the colors. I see different colors. I see purple, blue, red, green, gold.
Right.
Does that have anything to do with the code?
Well, it does, in as much that we tried to pick a color for each movie, and everything associated with that movie, we try to keep it to that color.
Okay, so that
So
helps
if
the
you're
player
playing,
out.
right, if you're playing a movie 1 chapter, then the little banner up there is going to be yellow.
Okay.
You know, the arrows for the characters.
Yeah, because I
you know,
noticed
like all
red here.
these,
Yeah.
They'll be lit up yellow. You know, so we're just going to try to hammer home that yellow means Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
We did that because yellow is like the gold for, you know, it's primarily associated with that movie.
You know what I love about this? I got to stop our tutorial. Sorry, guys. I love that this feels like 5 different fully functioning, loaded-ass pinball machines. It does. Like, the codes feel like 5 full game. Like, you're not just getting one game for the price. You're getting 5 different pinball machines, but they're all in one. I love that. Has anybody talked about it being that way? I mean,
Not really.
You
yet.
can
I mean,
play
you know,
Dead
we
Men.
just-
You can focus on that if you want to the whole time.
Well,
right?
exactly. And there'll probably be, you know, probably when you first start playing the game,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably going to try and concentrate on one movie at a time to see its
Yeah.
wizard mode and stuff
See,
like
I
that.
love that. And then maybe one day I come up and I'm like, you know what?
And some will
I'd
be
like
easier
to-
than others too, right? Because
Okay.
shooting this shot is not the easiest shot, but you have to make that shot in order to qualify the chapters for that movie.
Oh man, the depth here. I love it. I love it. All right. So what else do we need to know about? Because so you eased up on me. I appreciate you being slower for me. Let's start getting into the other components of this rule set.
All right. Well, we can talk about the other movie multi-balls real quick since the chapters are
Okay.
pretty similar.
Gotcha.
Open chest, you know, chest will
Beside
open
the
up.
chest, stand-up
and-
targets. Yep.
The, you know, lock 3 balls and
Mm-hmm.
start Dead Man's Chest multi-ball.
Okay.
For movie 3.
So
there
real
was-
quick,
Yeah.
I hit each of these once, And it's going to qualify a lot?
I mean, it can
Or
vary by
it varies?
difficulty
Okay,
adjustment.
gotcha.
But yeah, basically hit either one, or hit both of them, or hit each one twice. Whatever the difficulty is.
Gotcha.
To open the chest and then lock 3 balls.
Lock 3 balls is going to start which multi-ball?
That one's Dead Man's Chest.
Dead Man's Chest.
Again, so it's
Dead
green
Man's Chest.
and green down here, Dead Man's Chest.
Very simple. Okay.
So
now you're saying this?
Yeah. So movie 3 at World's End, the Red Skull. This one you have to collect the 9 pieces of 8 that feature in that movie. So we have 9 shots on the playfield, all of the major arrows. So you kind of think of Fellowship of the Ring, right? You had to make each shot once. They make each shot once, and then this shot is qualified for at World's End multi-ball.
And there's plenty of stacking opportunities with this, right?
Every multi-ball can be stacked with every other multi-ball.
Wow. Yeah.
Chapters can run during multi-ball. You can start chapters before multi-ball, during multi-ball.
Yeah.
It's back to the Simpsons era where everything is available. Have at it.
Yeah, if you want to load them up, load them all up. It's like The Beautiful Mind, where you see all these pictures and you can really pinpoint everything really going on at once.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so that's the Maelstrom.
Right. So the 4th movie on Stranger Tides is primarily shooting loops up here.
Yeah, you guys do it good. I watched the stream, and you guys are just boom, 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 killing like the Shadow or something. And I'm like, how are they doing that?
Yeah, you just get used to the shot. The shot feels good. I mean,
It's smooth. It is smooth.
So Eric probably talked about it, but there's he spent a lot of time working on that shot to get it right.
Yeah, he told me he really dialed that one in really well. Okay, so what are you hitting? You're hitting so many loops, so many in a row. What's the?
So again, it depends on difficulty. So the easiest
a standard default.
The standard default will be you shoot the loop, and the first loop in a sequence counts towards advancing that multi-ball.
Perfect.
So if you shoot like 5 loops, only the first one counts.
Okay.
And then, so I think it's 4 different first shots, and that multi-ball will be lit. Okay. And then you shoot the shot again, and it's ready to go.
That's doable.
And then movie 5 is mostly just shooting the spinner down here and making the loop shot, and then shoot the spinner enough, you get to the Devil's Triangle, and then that one will be lit.
But you said that shot's kind of tough.
It's pretty tough. I mean, the number of spinners starts off pretty low at the beginning, so people have a shot at it.
Okay. All right. Now, when I'm looking right down here, it says map ready. What do I need to know about that?
All right, so the map refers to the 3 map targets up here.
Okay. Oh, that's one of my favorite little shots on this game. I love that hole.
Yeah. So you hit MAP. The map is referring to the spinning disc area. Each letter is associated with one of the discs. So you hit one of the letters, and that disc will start spinning randomly.
Ooh.
You don't know which direction or which speed.
Yeah.
When map is completed, then they'll all 3 be spinning. And you shoot the map hole, then the map will stop at some award.
It'll lock in.
Light, extra, ball. Or something like that. So basically, you'll read the thing down the line, and that'll be what your award is.
This is the Pinball Mystery Award on steroids, is what I call it.
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, you could see all the possible awards right there. It's like,
but the combination is almost endless. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do there.
Right. Okay. So the light stuff, award stuff,
adding stuff,
changing stuff.
Oh man.
The more important thing is the ability to plunder.
Now, plunder's a pirate term.
Yes, it is.
Plunder.
So if you're in a multiplayer game, you can plunder other people's stuff.
So is it stealing it?
Yes.
Oh.
You can take their points, you can take their gold, you can take their treasures, and you can take their balls.
Nice.
That's the 4 possible things that can be plundered. That's all. You can set it, in adjustments, right? Anywhere from, Snowflake to Buccaneer to Bedlam. That's right. How aggressive the plundering will be.
Snowflake. Snowflake.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately if you want a really entertaining game. You know, you set it to bedlam, and people are just screwing each
Oh,
other
that's
all
right.
day
It's
long.
back and forth. Yeah. So this is very digestible. I like this. What else do I need to know when it comes to this code? Because I already feel comfortable now with you explaining it, knowing kind of what I'm shooting for, looking for the certain colors. I'm looking for both multi-ball and the chapters, so I like that. Anything else that gets a little bit deeper that I need to know, or maybe not me, but the viewer here needs
Well,
to know
the
about?
primary things you need to know probably about the pirate lanes.
Oh, you know what? Here's between us. So whenever I went to Expo, Eric Minier was talking about them damn pirate lanes the whole time, and I was so overwhelmed and overjoyed by seeing this thing, I kind of zoned out and spaced him out. So help me out on these pirate Inlanes, because he was focusing on those. I know they're
All right,
important.
so the pirate lanes have a lot of different stuff they can award you.
Okay.
It can be normal stuff like points, or it can be, light up gold or, light playfield multipliers
And
and
it's
shot
random?
multipliers.
Is this random? Or?
No, you can change it anytime you want by hitting the action button.
Okay.
Almost anytime. If you have gold, which we haven't talked about gold much yet, but if you have gold, then the action button picks up the gold,
Okay.
right?
And you'll hear it, right?
Yes, exactly.
You'll hear it.
But after the gold's gone, then anytime you push the button, it'll advance the award down here. So,
I gotcha.
so you hit the button, and it'll say light shot X.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the button again. It'll say add gold. Hit the button again. It'll say big points.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it's on, when you complete the lanes, then that color will be locked in at this target up here, the pirate target.
Yeah.
And then when you hit that, you collect the thing that you lit from the pirate lanes.
Okay, that's easy. I got that.
So, yeah,
What are some of
there's
the-
opportunities later on once you start getting that down, right, where you can have something up there
Mm-hmm.
and then prime the pirate lanes again to be almost complete. If you complete the lanes while that thing is still lit, then you stomp on the old award, and it's just gone.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
But if you light 5 lanes, then cash in the one that you lit before, then lit the 6th lane, and then cash it in, then you can combine the two things.
What are some of the most lucrative things you can get through those inlane awards?
The playfield multiplier is
yeah.
a big one.
That's right.
The
How high
shot
do they go? Playfield multiplier.
So we have these targets, these stand-up targets down here.
I see a 4x,
A
2x,
2x,
6x.
3x, 4x, 5x, 6x.
Okay.
So
You didn't want to go with the 120x? You didn't like that?
you could probably get close to that.
Okay. If you're stacking different things?
Exactly. I
Or
mean,
add
you
them all up?
could relatively easily get a 108x chapter shot.
Oh,
if you want.
yeah. I like that. But I see players like me I'm not good, so I can't focus on that. But the game doesn't rely just on that. I don't feel left out if I'm not
Right,
doing
but there's a
multipliers.
lot of
For tournament
depth
players,
available
oh
there,
yeah, they can focus
that you
on
can,
that.
Right, you can build up some big stack and
Yeah. I'm
just
chasing
blow
wizard
the
mode,
game
but
up.
this thing in a tournament is going to hold its own because of all the different multipliers, all the different strategies that you can have.
Right.
That's really cool. That's
Our
really cool.
current record is one shot was 202,000 points.
Whoa. So,
There's
and
a
this is
5x 5x playfield multiplier
Mm-hmm.
with a 6x shot multiplier. During the chapter that had like a 2.5 multiplier, which you haven't talked about yet. Then shot the ramp and 202,000 for that one shot.
Who shot it?
I did.
Oh, did you know when you shot it too? You was like,
I
"Damn,
knew it was
there
going to
is."
be
It was
decent,
big?
but I
Yeah.
was not prepared for how decent it was.
Oh wow, that's good. That's good. All right.
So and the lane awards, there's even depth to that because the more you do something, the more it'll be worth, right? So
Okay.
the first time you choose collect gold from the lanes and hit this target, the first time it's like 20 gold.
Okay.
But then you do it again and it's 30 gold.
Oh.
And then 40 gold. So
It
it keeps
builds.
going up the more times you get that award. The first time you take shot X, the playfield or the super X, which is the playfield multiplier, only the 2x target is lit.
Okay.
And then the next time you light super X, then you have the 2 and the 3x lit. So that's whichever one you hit first.
That's
but
right.
the 3 is not even available until the second time you do it.
Okay.
And then so you have to do it 5 times before you have a shot at the 6x multiplier.
How will the player know how long that is eligible
Well, it's eligible
for the rest of the?
forever, basically,
Okay. Okay.
until you hit one of the targets.
But then once you hit that target, then
then you have about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Of,
Does it pulse or?
Yeah, and plus there'll be a timer over here too
Perfect,
that
on the
tells you
display.
how much time you have left.
Okay, I like that. All right, what else do we need to know?
There's also awards that aren't available at first, but can come in later.
Once
like,
you earn them, basically.
Sort of. So, like, Light Extra Ball happens after you've gotten 5 Pirate Awards.
Ooh, so
then
that
that
is
starts
lucrative.
showing up in there.
In the home environment like me, I like those, like the extra balls.
One of our favorite modes at the moment is what we call R Frenzy.
Oh,
So, as you might imagine, is every time you hit a switch, someone says R.
oh, perfect.
So
That's
whether
awesome.
it's me or Eric or one of us is saying R.
And they're different tone, different voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Rs.
They probably have like
Yeah.
24 different R's right
24
now.
R's.
So if you're in a multi-ball or you shoot a spinner, you're getting R everywhere. That shows
cool.
up after you've completed the lanes 3 times.
I can't wait to get to that.
So, and then during certain events, like if you're in a multi-ball, then add-a-ball is now available in the lanes.
That's nice.
If you have a timer running from a mode or from a Playfield multiplier, then more time is added to the lanes.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of stuff that this thing can do, and it changes as the game goes on, context sensitive, and that kind of thing.
Ooh, I like
So
that.
there's kind of an astounding amount of depth just with the inlane.
I know, that's what I was focused on. I was like, oh, man,
Like
I
you
wish
can
I
get
was,
it easily. It's like I got to complete the lanes and hit that, and I get something.
I get
But
it now,
the
yeah.
amount of thought and everything else that's in there is pretty significant.
It's nice so our viewers can go back and kind of just digest this over and over and learn just little parts of this as they're going on location to play or in a tournament or hopefully in your home. Yeah, you need one of these. Okay, what else do we need to know, Kiefer?
The X targets, they're used for lots of different things. We already talked about the Playfield multiplier.
That's right.
Shot multiplier. I will say if you get shot multiplier, they all light at once. So you get whichever one you hit. They're also used for bonus X, which you can light again from the bottom lanes or with these 2 targets up here. The next bonus X will light up. And they're also used for this multi-ball to indicate the number of jackpots you're going to have to shoot.
Gotcha.
So these targets are used for about 4 different multipliers, basically.
Perfect.
What
What are we doing up here?
All right, so as we talked about earlier, this is how you start Curse of the Black Pearl multi-ball. So when you get up here, the first thing you're doing is shooting a spinner. The spinners, they'll close in on the ship you're attacking.
Okay.
And then once you're close enough, you can hit the load, the cannon, and then the door to the cannon opens up. And then you shoot it in the cannon, and that's when you take your
when
shot
you
over the
can
ship.
fire it.
Then you can, and if you don't blow it up, you don't have to do all that stuff over again. It'll go back to load cannon.
Oh, perfect.
And then go back in.
So do you have to hit it so many times then?
Yeah, the first one, it's like 50 spinners, but, these spinners
Oh, they're
really
juiced.
well.
Yeah, they're juiced.
So
They're still going.
It's possible to get the 50 spins in one good shot
Yeah.
around both of them because, they both are just going.
Yeah.
The other thing up here, like bonus X, as I just mentioned, and the other thing you can do up here is spot gold. So these targets spot these targets down here.
Okay.
And gold, the thing
Torture
that
the
people have heard
multi-ball.
about, exactly, you get there. So anytime you hit these targets, gold will spawn on the screen, and you have to hit the button
To collect it.
to pick up each piece, and it could be worth 1 or 5 or 10. Like there's different denominations depending on how much gold you've spawned.
Okay.
Like if you spawn 50 gold, then there'll probably be like a 25, a 10, a 5, and a bunch of 1s.
Yeah.
These targets will advance the gold letters here, which what happens is when you've completed gold, then the next time you hit these targets, it's basically double the amount of gold you would have gotten.
Gotcha.
Which it doesn't necessarily sound interesting, but the way these targets work is every combo you make before you hit these targets increases a pretty fair amount the amount of gold that you can get. So if you shoot chest to loop to loop to loop and then hit these, then you have like a 4 combo going to the targets and probably spawn like 12, 15 gold, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So
it builds up real quick that way. So it
exactly. So if you
encourages
shoot like 10 loops in a row and then hit this, then you probably got 40 gold up there or something.
So it encourages you to keep going, keep
Right.
moving.
Now, if you get those 10 loops before you hit the completed gold bank, then you're getting dozens and dozens of
Wow.
gold pieces at once, Which you still have to collect by slamming on the
So
button
gotta collect
as fast as you can. And so the record, by the way, is about 400 gold pieces.
Oh,
Someone
man.
spawned at once. Joe did.
Wow. How many what consecutive shot would it take? How many consecutive
I think
shots
it
to
was
get to-
I think it was a doubled 13 or 14 loop combo or something like that. It's
that's-
really risk reward because if you make those combos,
Mm-hmm.
you've got a huge potential of gold built up. But if you whiff the shot or you hit something else and it comes down here, you're not going to hit those targets to
That's true, that
collect
is
all
true.
this gold. So at some point after you made 7 or 8 loops, you're thinking,
Should I?
do I want to
bail
keep
out?
looping or should I just try and aim later and hit the target so I can get all
That's
the
where that
gold I
risk
built up?
reward is that people love so much in these.
And this game
concepts.
is filled with a risk reward.
There's so many different strategies.
because we haven't even talked about the multiple chapters yet, right? So
Let's talk about those now.
okay, if you have we have the 5 shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can enable more than one chapter at once.
Okay.
More than one movie at once.
Yep.
So if you shoot the left orbit, then all those stand-ups are yellow,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I shoot the chest now, then 3 of those targets turn green and the other 2 stay yellow.
Ooh,
So now we have 2 potential chapters you're starting, but
that's right.
you don't know which one you're going to get.
Okay.
So if you're playing to a wizard mode, you probably want to concentrate on just lighting one and starting it.
Mhm.
But if you light more of them up, then your chapter multiplier goes up. So if you light 2 of them at once, then there's 2 different colors up there. Whichever is the last target you hit is the one that you get. There's a magnet under there that kind of randomizes it.
Yeah, I love the action that ball gets up there. It's cool.
So whichever one you get, and if you've lit 2 chapters, the chapter, whichever one it is, will score 1.5x the points.
Okay.
If you light
a little extra
3 of them, then it scores double, 4, 2.5x, and if all 5 of them are lit, then your chapter's scoring triple points.
Okay.
But
I like
again,
triple
it's a risk
points.
reward because you don't know which one you're going to get. And each of the shots, the skulls, has what we call a skull value associated with it. So each of those skulls
Yeah, I was
starts,
wondering about those.
Yeah, they start off at 1,000 at the start of a ball or the start of a game. Every time you make the shot, you'll score the skull value, and it'll increase it depending on which shot it is. So if you shoot the chest, the skull value goes up by 50. If you shoot the left orbit, and it's each one's different. So the green skull goes up by 50. The yellow skull goes up by 75. This one goes up by 100. This one's dependent on the spinner. So how well you shoot the spinner is how much that goes up.
I love them spinners.
And then the inner loop goes up by 25, so it's an easily repeatable shot. But it doesn't go up by as much because you can just keep looping the thing for
bam,
1,000,
bam,
1,025, 1,050.
Well, not everybody. You can. Not everybody.
But the value of the skull shot is also the value of the characters you collect during a chapter.
Say that again.
So this thing starts off at 1,000. You can build
That's
it up,
right.
right? 1,075, 1,150.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally start movie 1 chapter, then whatever this value is built up to is what the value is of all the shots in the chapter.
Okay.
Now, during the chapter, those the first shot you make will score that skull value. It'll also increase that value depending on what shot you made. So, like I think this orbit increases the skull value by 100 when you get Will or Pintel. This one's probably 150 or something like that. So when you finish a chapter, it's going up and up the more characters you shoot, and then that value is left for the skull back in the game. So now, if you say you built up the thing by 500 more points, now you're shooting the shot for 1,600 points a shot.
People are going to
So
love
each
that.
so each
They're
of the
gonna
shots
love that.
basically has their own little jackpot that you build up through the ball, and you can hold those values by skillfully shooting the scoop over there.
It looks like a tight shot.
So yeah, it's a tight shot, but if you go with
Rightfully
it,
so.
it'll
It's
hold,
supposed to be.
It'll hold one of the skull values. If you shoot Tia Dalma under the flipper, she will add 250 to every skull and score the most valuable skull that you have, whichever one that is.
Yeah.
So that's where the 202,000 came up, right? So it's about
That's how
somewhere
they loaded it up.
2.7 thousand times 2.5 for the mode multiplier because there are 4
Jeez.
chapters. times 5 times 6.
How well
Which is-
did you do in math in school? Just one.
I was great in math until college.
I can't believe you were so well in math. Yeah, this is unbelievable. What else? I know we like I said, we could sit here forever. What else does the player need to know when it comes to?
Yeah, we can talk about the
Playfield
mystery
rules.
awards real quick, I guess.
Perfect, yeah.
We have mystery lit on Tortuga.
Mhm.
I guess you should say too. The gold builds up to Tortuga multi-ball, like I said. So
Yeah.
you collect 50 gold. Tortuga multi-ball lights here. It's it can be played with all the other multi-balls.
Yeah, the goal's important. You got to get through that multi-ball.
So the mystery. There's 10 mystery levels in the game.
Okay.
Designated by different colors. So each time you hit a bumper or the slingshot, the associated rum bottle, goes up by one color.
Okay.
So the lowest bumper level you have is the level of the mystery ward.
Okay.
So
What color is that?
The lowest one is like pink.
Pink.
But if you hit each one 10 times, then it's white. So if
Okay.
you see a white mystery ward, it's not getting any better. And if you shoot it, you'll get a level 10 mystery ward, which should
Nice.
generally be better
That should be good.
than the level 1 mystery ward.
Extra points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
What's this do? I want to know what this Wizard of
Oh,
Oz
the rollover?
does. Yeah.
So this one, it spots the lowest level bumper for you.
Okay.
So
I
whichever,
like
it's usually this one because
Mhm.
it's kind of out of the way compared to the others. Not always, but most often this one's the hardest to hit. So whichever bumper is the lowest, it'll advance at one level.
Very good. Is that a high traffic area too? So you're hitting that
It goes
a lot?
in and out of there pretty fair
Pretty
amount.
regularly. Or it can come down here, pop, and then go back up in here. I guess.
Absolutely can. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
roll on, come back out. Yeah. And we also have, chew through the bumper shots, through there, and then the extra ball
The
shot.
shot. I mean, there's shots all
So-
night long in this game.
And then,
I like that there's a
special
bumper back
shot
here.
is also the depths one over there.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's. I'm gonna need that for extra balls and stuff, aren't I? Can you program it to extra ball? I always like my special.
Yeah,
and
you can
extra
always do
ball.
that,
Yeah. I like that. What do we need to know rules wise? So, anything else here before we start up this game and you show us the different character stuff?
I don't think so. That's
Oh, man.
that's
That
the primary. You got most of it.
That'll keep people chewing for years. That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to go to the gameplay now, guys. We're going to show you guys the different characters, and that's got a whole nother story of depth here on Pirates of the Caribbean by Jersey Jack Pinball.
All right. So when you start a game, here's the character select screen.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
It's a lot of people. We started off with having 5 or 6, just the main characters in the game, and then that was before we went to the 22 characters on the Playfield chapter-based concept.
Yeah.
And we did that, and it was like, well, we've got, so we started adding more people, and it's like, well, we've got 22 people in the game. We might as well just give each one of them a thing to do.
Uh-huh.
So that's what we did.
How long did it take to think of 22 different things?
The
That's
first,
insane.
the first 6 were immediate.
You kinda knew.
Yeah, right. And then it kind of, at the end, it got to be more of a stretch,
Yeah.
in terms of, what can we do here? And
What's
then
unique?
we came up with a bunch of them, and then it was like, well, you're only going to ever pick these guys, right? So we had to start balancing them out with different attributes. So,
That's what people are saying.
we only
about
tell
this.
people about the positives. Some of these guys have negatives as well, and we'll talk about that as we go through them.
Ooh, nice.
So we'll just go through them in order. So we have the character here, Armando Salazar.
I've been calling him Greg. He just kind of has a stark resemblance to my
We
buddy
have
Greg.
we have the plot justification quote for his power.
Okay.
Like we try to make the power relatable to the character, right?
More integration. I love it. I love it.
So dead men tell no tales. I always leave one to tell the tale. So the natural thing there was if you're in a multi-ball
Mm-hmm.
and you have 2 or more balls draining at once at the end of the multi-ball, then he'll leave one alive to tell the tale. So you'll
Ooh.
get a ball back if you drain your last balls all at once in multi-ball.
That's pretty beneficial.
It's very
I
beneficial.
do like
Now,
that.
it doesn't happen very often.
Uh-huh.
You have to be A, in a multi-ball, and then B, they have to all drain at once. But it's basically an extra
But that
ball if you're at
irritates you
that
the
point.
most, though. Like, and if you get rewarded for,
Well, if you get cheesed off by that situation, then you'll pick them, you know, all the time. Elizabeth Swan, you know, thinks it'd be rather exciting to meet a pirate. So, basically, with her, a chapter is always lit. So you start, you know, normally you have to shoot one of the skull shots.
Mm-hmm.
With her, at least one chapter will always be lit up
Nice.
there. Now you can add more, like you always can, but one of them will always be lit. As soon as you're out of mode, you can shoot it right back up there again and start another one.
Okay.
You know, it'll choose randomly, but
So it's not just the initial chapter is always lit or something like that.
now for the whole game,
the whole
a chapter
game.
is always lit.
That is a good benefit, especially a player like me that likes to focus on the journey and the tail, if you will.
Right.
of
It'll make
this
it easier to
machine.
go through it, but again, she'll pick randomly, so you don't know which one you're going to get, but
That's
you'll
okay,
you'll
yeah.
get through them.
Okay.
Will Turner, you know, he practices with the swords. You know, the only thing I could think of to associate with him is giving you more time. Like, he's good at, you know, doing sword combos or
Yep,
whatever, right?
that's
So
right.
every combo in the game, whether it's the gold combo or the treasure combo, the more time to make those shots.
Mm-hmm.
Davy Jones. We didn't talk about Liar's Dice yet. I suppose we should mention that real quick.
Yeah, let's mention it now.
In the pirate lanes, it's not in the game yet, but
Mm-hmm.
at some point, Liar's Dice will be in there. So we have an insert right there for Liar's Dice.
Yeah, we'll show you guys now.
So Liar's Dice, you will literally play Liar's Dice in the game.
How does that happen?
So once you enable it, you shoot it up there. It'll get caught by the magnet up there, and you'll roll 5 dice, and the computer will roll 5 dice
Where at?
on the display.
Oh, I
Kind
like
of like
it.
a video mode, right?
I like
so
it.
you'll see what dice you have. If you want a quick explanation of what Liar's Dice is, you're bidding between all of your dice and all of your opponent's dice. And you keep upping the bid either by the number of pips on the dice or the number of dice of pips, right? So 1, 2 is higher than 1, 1, but 2 1s is higher than 1, 2. Right?
I'm going to pretend I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So anyway, what you can risk in Liar's Dice is either points or kind of like plundering. You can risk points or gold or possibly an extra ball.
Ooh.
So if you wager an extra ball, then if you win, great, you get an extra ball. If you lose, you drain. So
That's kind of cruel.
well, I mean,
I like
do
that.
you want
But
to
that's
take the
Davy
chance to
Jones.
beat him?
That's Davy Jones.
So Davy Jones,
Wow.
his dice, you know, the technical implementation is that he'll roll 7 dice and pick the most interesting 5 out of those 7.
Uh-huh.
So you'll have better dice, and Liar's Dice will always be available from the lanes
Ooh.
if you want it. As like otherwise, you have to complete the lanes 3 times or something before it starts to become available.
That's helpful. That is helpful. There's
Jack
the man.
Spirate, you know, the lucky guy.
Uh-huh.
So if you pick Jack, then when you get a mystery award from Tortuga,
Uh-huh.
each award we've associated a desirability. He will scratch off the 2 least desirable awards and just pick from the remaining 3
So he's going to increase your likelihood of
of
good
getting
things.
something decent.
Yeah.
Right now, in mystery, it's not random. I mean, it's a weighted random, which 5 things show up. But of the 5 things, it's a straight chance, a 1 in 5 chance of anything that's on there, no matter what it is.
Okay.
So when he scratches the 2 off, then it's a straight 1 in 3 chance at the remaining things. Weatherby Swan. So this is one of the last ones we came up with. A, because I couldn't find a good quote for him, and B, I just didn't know what he would do. So once plundering gets in the game, if you're tired of people stealing your stuff,
Uh-huh.
you know, like if you're really good and you're playing a bunch of casuals and they keep stealing from you all the
Yeah.
time, you just pick Weatherby Swan and no one can ever steal from you. The
I
flip
like
side is he can't do any plundering either, so he can't plunder, nor can he be plundered.
Weatherby is such a square. He's not plundering. He's man of the law.
Blackbeard is a favorite choice in the office. be foolish to battle Fate, but I'd be tempted to cheat it. So his multi-ball ball savers are longer.
Well, that's why. Yeah, everybody likes it.
So most multi-balls have about a 10-second ball saver. He increases it to 20 seconds. Makes it a lot easier to string all the multi-ball stacks together. So, you know, it's a decent thing to pick. Scrum. He
No, I take it back. I thought that was Greg, but that's actually that's Greg. Scrum.
So he will spot, if you play in a chapter that has a female in it, then he will spot the female because he's, you know.
Of course he
he's
does.
Sweet with the ladies.
Come
right?
on, Scrum.
And since there's not as many females as males in the chapters, they'll probably also be worth more points as well.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Marty.
Marty.
So normally after you play Tortuga multi-ball, your goal goes back down to 0. In the last movie, you know, he's miffed that, you know, you want us to pay you? You know, he says to Jack. So he'll keep some gold after Tortuga multi-ball. That wasn't quite enough for him to do, I didn't think. So also gold scores more for him in bonus than it does for
That's
other
a good
characters.
balance. That's a good balance.
Karina. So she's the, you know, she studies horology, the study of time,
Okay.
in the 5th movie. So naturally, all the timers are longer with Karina.
I like that.
Every timer in the game, whether it's a chapter timer, an R Frenzy timer, a Playfield X timer, they're all longer with Karina.
That means more points.
Norrington is another pretty popular choice. So what he does, since he's good at hunting pirates and stuff like that, the chapter rules are easier. So what that means is if you have the left ramp lit for Elizabeth Barbosa, you don't have to shoot the ramp. Either of those stand-ups will count as shooting the ramp.
Oh, so it's like a spot. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's
Spot
true for
shot.
any shot on the game. Anything that's near the shot you are trying to make, he will award it to you. Now, that is really powerful in terms of
Yeah, I
getting
think
through the chapters. So
that might
he
be
comes
my
with a pretty
favorite one.
significant penalty.
Oh no.
Every chapter score is cut in half with Norrington.
Oh.
So all of your chapters are immediately worth half as much if
And
you
you
choose
need those
them.
high scores whenever you get into the different wizard modes, correct?
Well, no, it's just the number of characters you shoot.
Okay.
So
all
he
right,
helps you
all
with
right.
that a lot.
Good deal.
But as far as the chapters themselves, they score half as much.
Ugh.
And if you use one of the helper shots, it scores half of that, i.e. 1/4.
So it's even risk and reward through the characters here, because that's a big risk, big reward.
Right. You know, if you start, like some of the movie 3 chapters have like 11 characters in them. You know, if you're in a multi-ball with Norrington, you will finish that in the blink of an eye.
Oh, I bet.
You know, and you'll get a fair number of points, even though it's just half of what it could have been. But, you know, you'll finish it really quick because, you know, you're just hitting everything because it's multi-ball. So,
I like
so
him.
right,
I
the
like
better the power, the more significant the penalty as a result. Henry, just the diversion. So as a result, we didn't talk about the spot character stand-up down there, but basically that is always lit during a chapter. So if the ball ever hits that target, you will always spot a character.
Oh.
The normal way to light spot character is to shoot the shot of the character that you are. So, like if you're Will, then if you shoot the left orbit, then spot character would light up.
I see.
If you're
I see.
Jack, you have to shoot the center shot to light spot character.
Okay.
So normally it's not lit. With him, it's always lit.
Always lit. That's
Doesn't
pretty
get hit all that often though either. So you know,
that's
again,
good balance.
it's helpful. Hector is like Norrington except for multi-ball. You know, more like guidelines. So you're supposed to shoot that shot. Well, again, you can cheat it by hitting the stand-ups or whatever.
I see.
So
Now,
like
this
Norrington, as you might imagine,
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting
every
for.
multi-ball is cut in half,
Ah.
scoring-wise. But it's a lot easier to get multi-ball super jackpots and stuff too, which is what you want for
Absolutely.
increasing the wizard mode score.
Absolutely.
So again, risk reward. You know, do you get a lot of supers because they're really easy, or do you want all the points?
I can even see certain players' game styles differing what they choose. Like,
Absolutely.
If they're a certain type of player, they're going to lean towards a certain character more often than others.
Right.
That's
And if
me.
some, you know, as we finish these up, you'll some of them will cater to people who maybe get more annoyed. Like we already had Weatherby, you know, if
Yep.
you're annoyed about plundering.
Oh, he's a looker.
Yeah. So Pentel, he's kind of a sneaky choice. He spots pirate lanes. So if you get good at the pirate lanes, when you start the game, he'll have spotted 5 lanes for you. So you only need 1 lane to finish pirate. So your first award will happen immediately.
Yeah.
Then that number starts dropping off. Then you'll spot 4 lanes and 3 lanes, and he bottoms out at 2 lanes.
Okay.
So every time you complete pirates, you'll have 2 lanes lit immediately the next time.
That's
so
nice.
he makes it way easier to
Hit
get
your ramps
through
and you're good to
pirate
go.
lane awards. Bootstrap Bill, he doesn't do anything except whatever the difficulty of starting Dead Man's Multi-Ball, he knocks it down 1 level. So
Okay.
if like the normal way the game is set is if they open chest, lock a ball, open chest, lock a ball. If that's the default, then he'll take it down 1 level, which means open chest and then lock all 3 balls at once.
Ooh.
You know, now it keeps going up, but he'll never get to the hardest difficulty. The hardest difficulty he'll always be 1 back from.
Perfect. Would you say that that's one of the... What's the toughest multi-ball to start, in your opinion? I know it's probably subjective based on your shots, but...
You know, it's funny, you know, each of them has their pros and cons.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for a lot of people, multi-ball 5 is going to be the hardest because it's just not an easy shot to make. Even this one gives some people troubles, but we've recently added like a couple of, you know, awards at ball start, or a couple of, you know, pieces of 8 at ball start to help you get closer to this automatically.
Okay. Sorry for the tangent.
No, it's fine. And this one can be really hard for people to do because you have to get up here, play the playfield, and shoot the ship. You know, so it's, I don't know. And other people have trouble shooting the loop shots.
Some people, a static shot is easier than a moving, you know, moving playfield. Okay.
Tia Dawn was an interesting one. So we talked about how you can light all the characters, and if you go up there, you don't know what you're going to get. With her, you can pick what you want.
Oh.
So, you know, whatever chapters you have available, you can pick between the ones that you've lit up, and you can just choose. It's a little arrow that points, and you can select it.
Okay.
Her penalty, as a result of that, is that it's not easier to make the chapter shots, but since you know which one you're going to get, her multiplier increase is cut in half. So, instead of, if you have 2 chapters lit, normally it'd score 1.5x chapter score. With her, it would be 1.25.
Okay,
if you have
not
3 chapters lit,
as bad, but
yeah,
okay.
so 1.5x. So if you have all 5 lit, then her chapters are scoring double instead of triple with, you know, a normal character.
Adds up. It does add up. I'm trying to think which one I want to be. I like this. Okay, what's the next one?
Let's see. Beckett is probably going to be a popular choice for a lot of people.
Okay.
When you get gold and like a bunch of gold on screen, you have to keep hitting the action button over and over again. With him, you just hit the button once and it all gets scooped up.
I've heard a lot of players at location and at the shows, they end up gravitating towards Beckett, especially those players that they have a hard time coordinating the action button as well. So
right,
I can see
it's a lot easier to just go over and hit the button once
and
you know, get all the gold. So, so a couple penalties come with him. Normally, if you have a lot of gold on the screen, then every time you collect anything, any piece of gold, you get it's like 100 points for the first one, and it goes up by 25. So you have a lot of stuff on the screen. You're actually getting a lot of points just by hitting the button and collecting the gold.
Oh.
So since you only have to hit it once for him, you get 100 points and that's it.
Plus, he's kind of he is very beneficial, but he's kind of a throwaway because if you can press that and coordinate that fast enough,
right, you don't need to.
You don't need him.
And he comes with another penalty too, and that is his gold does not score as much as everyone else in bonus.
Ooh. But he's
so Marty
just
scores
so much
more,
easier.
his scores less, right? So it's just trying to find the balance there of, you know, the good and the bad with everybody. Like we want it so that you have a reason to pick everybody.
So far, yeah, most definitely.
Angelica, she spots 1 male character. So we had Scrum who spots a female. Angelica spots a male.
Plenty more males.
Exactly. Every chapter has at least 1 male. There's no all-female chapters. There's at least 1 chapter, if not 2, that if you start it, she will immediately finish for you.
Okay.
Well, one benefit of picking these characters that we haven't talked about is that character is spotted for you in any chapter they show up in.
Say it again.
So,
I didn't follow that one.
So if you pick Jack, then anytime Jack is a character in a chapter that you have to collect, he gets spotted.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't
That
have to
makes sense.
collect them.
Makes total sense.
So, and you get the points for them and all that stuff. So there's at least one chapter that has Angelica and Jack. So Angelica gets spotted,
And then
then she spots Jack, and the
Perfect.
chapter's immediately over. You don't even have to
Okay.
play it.
I like that.
So that figures into who you choose too, because maybe you're more likely to pick a Norrington or a Karina because you can't shoot that right orbit, or Salazar or Henry because you can't shoot Devil's Triangle or something like that.
She's a nice little shortcut. I like it.
Rigetti.
Sounds like a pasta. Sounds like something I want to eat. A little rigetti.
Right. So he's the pirate with one eye,
I
a
love
wooden
that
eye,
guy,
right?
too,
And
in
it
the
pops
film.
out
I
all the
love
time.
it, yeah.
So
Of course.
So
perfect.
we didn't just want to have the thing where you could get the ball back whenever you wanted. So the compromise is that the ball has to be on the black pearl, which is where he loses his eye most
That's right.
often, right? So if the ball's up here on the black pearl, then you can hit the button and get served an extra ball, and now you're in multi-ball for no reason other than you're getting.
It's still nice.
Now, there's lots of different things you can do with them too. If you make the skill shot up onto the ship, you can hit the button right away, and you're instantly starting your ball with 2 balls on the playfield.
Perfect.
Or do you save it for later? So if you're having a ball on the right flipper and you're multi-ball, and you have a bunch of multi-balls going, you have a ball on the left flipper, you drain your last ball, then if you still have them, you can shoot the ball up the ramp and hit the button and resurrect all of your multi-balls.
If you can do it timing
Right,
yeah.
exactly. So you can't just do it by losing the ball. You have to get up the ramp in time.
I can see
and
that
then hit
being
the button.
fun and tense, right? You got
Exactly.
2 seconds to get it up there and bam.
If you can hold off not using them right away,
Uh-huh.
just to have multi-ball at the start of
Ooh.
the ball. Now, he does have a penalty, and that
was
is...
going so well, Keith.
I know.
It was going so well.
So, because that's really powerful.
Rigetti,
right?
yeah, Rigetti's
So, anytime you use him, then all of your scores are cut in half.
good. Oh, that's not cool.
So
All
he
of
is
your scores.
half scoring as long as you're in multi-ball after you pick him.
Okay.
So,
Oh, he's dangerous then.
right.
But boy,
It's
you're
risk-
adding a
again,
ball, though.
right.
You're adding a ball to your
Right.
to the
And, there's
game.
ball justification too, right? He's only got one eye. So
It
he's
only
scoring
takes
half.
1 ball too, so an extra one. Extra one's nice.
So, there's, he's an interesting choice.
Okay.
A lot of things you could do with him. Cotton, he's steering the ship all the time in all the movies. So the ship, as it gets, more going more and more, he basically cuts the amount of motion in half.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's way easier to play the upper
Tames it
playfield
down.
with Cotton. And he'll also double the scoring up on the ship too, because he needed more to do.
For whatever reason, there are some players out there that have hard time with different aspects of games. I can see some people just acing this upper playfield with a swing. I can see some people having some difficulty and just cognitively cannot get that movement down. So he's really nice then, just
Right.
to chill that out a little bit.
Right, the most controversial aspects of the game, we have ways to mitigate if you
Yeah,
want, right?
yeah.
Like,
The
color
gold,
with it.
the upper
Right, exactly.
playfield, yeah.
Phillips up, he's kind of like Bootstrap. If you have a hard time shooting the loop, he makes it easier to start on Stranger Tides multi-ball.
Okay.
That's pretty much
Yeah, that's pretty
all he
straightforward.
does. And Gibbs.
That's our narrator.
Right, he's the narrator. He's the
Yeah.
voice in the game. Loves Tortuga, so Tortuga is more valuable when you're at Gibbs. In fact, it scores double.
Oh,
So if you get to Tortuga multi-ball, then you're getting double points in that multi-ball when you have Gibbs.
okay.
So he's pretty big. And the bumpers score double during the whole game, which isn't quite as important, but it's a little bit longer of a choice because you'll definitely have games where you don't get to Tortuga. But if you do, you're scoring a lot more points with
Yeah.
Gibbs than you are normal.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, that's phenomenal. I like that.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
I would say hopefully there's enough there for
No, stop.
everybody.
Hopefully there's enough.
Hopefully there's enough reason to want to pick everybody.
Look, first off, you guys didn't even have to have characters, and this game is mega deep. Second, all you had to really have is 3, and people would have been ecstatic. You have 22 different ways, not only to play this game, but just to pick the beginning of this game on what journey you're going to set
All right.
sail on.
And there's one more thing in play about the characters.
Yeah.
No one can be the same character.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So choice matters. Now, most times in a tournament, you get
You don't want
choice,
to be
you're
first.
going last.
No, yeah.
Right. But now, if you have a character you have an
I think-
affinity for,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you are choosing first just to get the shot at getting that character. If someone else picks them, then,
Yeah.
you know. But no matter what, you're at a minimum going to have 4 different characters that you're good at, you know, because your top 3 choices
be ready.
could be taken
They
from
could
you.
be taken. Well, Keith, you have outdone yourself again, buddy. Thanks for
Thank you
walking
very
us
much.
through the entirety of this code set. And there's probably still stuff we missed, too.
There probably is.
You've outdone yourself, man. So that is Zach and Greg from Straight Down the Middle, a pinball show. We want to thank Jersey Jack Pinball again, especially Eric Menier, Keith Johnson, and the rest of the design team here at JJP Chicago for letting us come out. You guys, I want this so bad. I want this game. I don't want to smudge up the Invisiglass, but I want this. You guys want it too? Here's all you got to do. Contact a distributor and get yourself one of these. And if not, buy yourself one for your home and then go play one in a tournament, go play one at a show or at your local arcade or family entertainment center. From Straight Down the Middle, this is Zach. Let's go back to review this thing now. It's good, Keith. You'll like this one.
You hit it off with the bumper knife straight down the middle, yeah. You had a fling with a slingshot, you're rolling out the alley, yeah.
Pirates.
So, yeah, we'll have to.
Oh, look at you, little perfectionist. What's his name anyway? What is it? Have you guys named him yet?
Maybe we should name him today.
We should.
Tortuga dude. I don't know.
Tortuga dude.
Tortuga Tom.
There you go. That's awesome.
He kind of looks like you, Greg. Spinning around there. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
A nice tight crop, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what you say, your wife?
No.
Baby, it's a nice tight crop you got there. No? Oh, stop! It went a little far. It went a little fast.
Once again, in a pinball podcast, you've gone where no one dared go before. To the crops or the triceps, I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, the pinball triceps.